You're a real.
Welcome back. No, that was me.
Just screaming.
Really bringing the energy for this one. Welcome back to Who Watches Us, the movie podcast where we watch the movies, but who bloody watches us?
Who watches us?
I'm Alex, and I'm joined by bloody Brendan.
Yep, co-host Brendan.
Yeah.
For this one.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing alrighty.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice. What have you been up to?
Today? Honestly,
Just in general.
I've been doing some podcast stuff. I've been making some game stuff. I was going to leave this a little bit later, but I had a friend of the show help me out, and we put together a community Discord for Who Watches Us. So we'll leave.
Certainly did.
Yeah, we'll leave a link in the description.
Might I say, big thank you to. I guess I could just.
Yeah.
Do I say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zeb. Yeah. Thank you, Zeb, for helping Brendan set up the Discord. It looks fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Well done, guys.
We're in the bloody recording booth right now in the Discord.
So if you fucking want to, that'll probably be in the description so you can join if you want.
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more later on in the podcast, like towards the end, like some details about, what the plan is for the Discord and how it's all going to work.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Not a lot. Just, working.
How's that?
Just doing, it's bloody work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, it's as good as it can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad.
Work is work.
Work is work. Bloody pays the bills, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody... We just watched a movie, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we?
We sure did. Yeah, at the lovely recommendation of our now former guest, Nicholas.
What a lovely man.
Yeah, lovely man.
Lovely man.
And he recommended the movie In the Mood for Love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
He was in the mood.
So here's a spoiler warning as well, because we are going to get into the movie. If you want to watch In the Mood for Love, probably go do that first. Otherwise, you've been warned.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. If you care about watching this movie, you should probably go watch it, because we're going to talk about it a lot for like an hour plus. Yeah. So, I mean, if you click on a podcast about a movie, I don't know what you expected. Yeah. Get real.
Get real, you fucking idiot. No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
You dipshit.
You fucking fuck ass. Stupid fuck. What are you thinking?
Okay.
Why are you here? Go do something else. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, we just watched In the Mood for Love. And this movie came out in 2000. This movie came out 25 years ago.
Nice.
And directed, I'm probably going to butcher these, but directed and written by Wong Kar-wai. Stars Tony Leung, Chu Wai, that's one name, Maggie Cheung, and Ping Lam Si. How was my pronunciation? Was that spot on?
I don't think I could comment on that, but
yeah,
it was. I understood most of it.
If you Chinese, share this video with a Chinese friend. Maybe that's too specific. Share this with a Chinese friend.
Yeah, this movie
Yeah.
is 100% in Cantonese.
Yeah, it was a difficult road. We write notes for this podcast so we can kind of remember what's going on, because you don't want to miss something that might be important. If you're going to talk about a movie, you want to get everything.
Yeah.
And it's hard to write and read at the same time. My reading comprehension is at a 5th grade level, so it's not great. And
Yeah.
my writing's even worse.
It was just a little bit difficult. It was hard to get used to. Like having to understand what's going on in the movie, because like at times it was pretty fast paced, because it's a short movie. It's only like an hour and 37, I think.
Hour 38.
Well,
continue.
Yeah, I was pretty close. And yeah, there's a lot happening. You want to write down some key plot points, and it's pretty dialogue heavy, and it's all in a different language, and you got to like keep like darting back and forth to make sure you still like understand what's going on. So we actually like watched this movie separately. I think that was the first time we've done that.
I think so, yeah.
Just so we could pause it when we needed to, so we could take notes.
Yeah. Shit, I had something to say, but I forgot. Yeah. I guess it presented a new challenge. And the thing is, when something is... This is what I was going to say, I remember now. When something is so dialogue heavy, you don't know what's going to be important later. So I basically wrote this script like almost word for word. Not exactly.
No.
Not exactly. Just the like things I thought were important. But I wrote like 15,000 words.
What the hell?
Or sorry, characters. I'm doing this in like fucking Word notes, or sorry, Microsoft Notes.
Yeah, mine's all in Notepad, so it doesn't tell me that, but I should do something similar to that where it tells me how much I've written.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where like I noticed something and I'm like, that might matter later, but I'm gonna not write it down now just in case.
Yeah.
And then it matters later. I'm like, okay, I'm pausing it. I'm adding it to my notes like earlier and like reiterating it now. Yeah, there was a couple of times of that, but having the freedom to pause was pretty good.
Yeah, having the freedom to pause this movie and actually take in what's happening and not just, writing shit down is I feel like it just had to be done. So
yeah, I think we'll probably do that for future movies that are like subtitled.
Yeah. Because I don't want to limit us to just watching like English films.
Yeah, definitely not.
There's going to be things that we're going to be recommended or want to watch that we are going to be in a different language. So
yeah.
But what did you think? What did you think of In the Mood for Love?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I liked the movie. Yeah, despite everything that kept getting in our way to start watching this movie.
It was such a fucking mission.
Oh my god. It's not on anything. Like when Nick said it in the episode, yeah, you might have a little bit of a hard time finding something to stream it on. He wasn't kidding. Like it's not on anything. And I was like misled at the start as well. Like it said it was going to be on Prime Video, so I got hooked up with some Prime Video stuff, and I go on there, and then like there's another movie on there that's called In the Mood for Love, but it's not the one that we want to watch. I'm like, fucking hell. So Alex is like, okay, I'll like buy the movie on Apple TV, and I guess we can like stream it and watch it together. The movie is $25 on Apple TV.
Yeah.
And
when
then
I streamed it, you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything either.
Yeah, just probably like an anti-piracy thing or something. Because Apple TV, scumbags. Just scumbags. Why don't you tell them what they did to you?
So after that failed, because we were going to stream it in the Discord as well and share it with the community. Like that's something that we want to do as well. Like have the community sort of like sit in on the watches, so they can sort of like enjoy it with us, and then we'll fuck off and record. But that didn't work out. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to buy the movie. So I had to I tried to do it on the browser, and the browser doesn't let you do that. So I had to
Yeah, for some reason when you search it on the browser, it doesn't come up. You have to download the app.
Yeah, so I clicked on the hyperlink for downloading it on the app. Got it on the app, signed into my Apple whatever. And as soon as I signed in, it just fucking charged me for the movie. And it charged me for the 4K version, which costs $42. And
Jesus Christ.
It's fucking ridiculous. And I don't have a 4K monitor, so I can't... I own the movie, sure. Well, I own the license to the movie, or I've licensed the movie for a little bit so I can watch it. But I can't watch it on anything that's 4K because I don't have anything that is 4K. So, yeah, this movie did me dirty. Not the movie.
Yeah.
Apple did me dirty and left a sour taste in my mouth at the start of this movie. And that was last night. So I stopped watching the movie last night and I watched it this morning instead because I was just so upset.
Apple TV was trying its best to give us a biased review.
Yeah.
It was really fucking us over. And it was, I just gave up. I just we got 10 minutes in. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Alex was broken.
I was broken.
He was slamming his desk. He was throwing sandwiches around.
I had to get a new monitor.
What?
Because I snapped it over my face.
What?
No, not really. I did throw my sandwich there. That is real.
Yeah.
Peanut butter all over the wall.
Was it really?
Hey, no.
Just taking your frustrations out on Matt.
Yeah, I just fucking started pinching him and plucking his eyebrows.
He messaged me. He's like, "What's wrong with Alex? What happened to him? What happened?"
Hey, listen. The only thing that got abused was that peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
Share this podcast if you like peanut butter sandwiches. Or you know someone who likes peanut butter sandwiches.
Do you ever with peanut butter sandwiches, I feel like the peanut butter, that's the prime suspect for getting another spread involved.
Oh, peanut butter and Nutella? Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, banana and honey? Masterpiece.
That one's a little bit more niche, but I get where you're going with it.
It's so good.
I used to have peanut butter and honey a lot.
Peanut butter and honey is so good.
It is very good. I don't like it anymore. I think it's a little bit too sweet for me now, but it was good back in the day. And every now and then I would
love
partake
peanut butter so much.
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking dog. I fucking...
Just straight up the spoon.
Yeah. No. Oh, I used to. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. You a smooth
that makes me feel sick.
You smooth?
I'm
or
a smooth. I'm a smooth guy. I'm not too fond of the nuts.
Yeah.
I like peanuts. I like eating peanuts by themselves. I feel like if you're gonna call something a butter, don't put hard crunchy shit in it. It's ruining it for me. Everyone's got different preferences, different tastes, but that's just my opinion.
I wonder why they don't do that with hazelnuts. I don't think I've seen a chunky hazelnut spread.
I feel like if you go the organic shit, that's when they'd just fucking... I don't know. It's the most half-assed hazelnut spread you'll ever eat. It just doesn't taste very good. It's not sweet because it hasn't had a shit ton of sugar fucking loaded into it. It's very oily. All the oil sits at the top. It's disgusting. And yeah, sometimes it's a little chunky.
Should we do a nut spread tier list?
Yeah, nut spread tier list. I've only had 2, but we can try. We can try all the nuts.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try like pistachio butter or whatever it is.
That sounds expensive as fuck.
Expensive to the company, it'll be fine.
Yeah. That's a tax write-off.
Yeah, my bank account.
But I think we might be getting a little sidetracked here with all this peanut butter, banana, honey, hazelnut spread type beat. We should maybe get into the plot of the movie.
Yeah, all right, we can do that.
Yeah, this movie starts off with a quote, and it reads, "It is a restless moment. She has kept her head lowered to give him a chance to come closer. But he could not, for lack of courage. She turns and walks away." Hong Kong, 1962. That's the setting, all right?
Yeah, I missed all of this.
I saw the quote. I'm like, maybe I should write that down. And it kind of is just like the biggest spoiler for this movie. Like, the movie is spoiled off the bat by the people who made it. Yeah. But we start and we're in, like, it's kind of like an apartment, like a share house almost. Everyone's got their own rooms, but there's like a main common area.
Yeah.
Where the owner, like, and like her mother, like, live, and her husband, and they like rent and shit.
It's very crowded, yeah.
Yeah, it's very crowded, and people are eating.
And people are moving in.
And people are bloody moving in. This lady, we don't know who she is yet. She's just finished work, and she's come to meet with the owner, Miss Suan. Or Miss Soon. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to call her Miss Suan. Yeah. They introduce themselves, and then, you know, Miss Suan says, "Give me a call when you decide what you want to do." And you're kind of like, what's going on? That was me, at least. I'm like, what is going on in this movie? And then a different guy is walking up the stairs, and as he's coming in, the woman that Mrs. Suan was talking to is leaving. This woman's name, by the way, is Mrs. Chan. That's her husband's name. That's how she wants to be referred. And the guy walking up the stairs, that's Mr. Chow. Old mate comes up the stairs, is like, "You got any rooms?" And he's like, "Nah." The Miss Suan's like, "Nah, sorry, I just gave it to that lady. But you should try Mr. Koo next door, you know. He's just had a son that moved out." He's like, "All right, cool, thanks." And then you cut, and people are moving in, and it's loud, and shit is fucking chaotic as fuck.
Yeah.
And they've got people's stuff going in the wrong rooms, and like, because everything's so close, people's shit is getting mixed up because they're moving in on the exact same day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mrs. Chan's books end up in Mr. Chow's apartment, and he's like, "Are these yours?" And he's just like, "They're my husband's." He's like, "Is he Japanese?" It's like, "Oh, nah, he just speaks a little bit because
he works abroad."
He works abroad, yeah. And he gives her the thing.
Yeah.
They exchange names, and they kind of go their separate ways.
Yeah, and then it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they have some bloody dinner in this like little common room. The room is very small. The room is basically a dinner table, and everyone kind of just sits around and eats food and talks. And I'm not sure if they were eating food or maybe they were playing mahjong.
Yeah, it's very cozy. I think they might have been doing both.
Yeah, probably both. But yeah, just like a communal area that everyone's sort of like hanging out and getting to know each other. And Mrs. Chan, she sits on an armrest, and it looks so uncomfortable. I'm like, how did you do that?
So you got to do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah, but I think we cut from here, and we learn that the husband is traveling again, Mr. Chan, for a couple of weeks, and he's gonna bring back some expensive bags for Mrs. Chan's boss. He gets some cool shit over there, brings it back, and they ask for two as well. So it's just to sort of schmooze the boss a little bit.
And I didn't realize why she said two, but I get it now. One's for his wife, and one is for his mistress.
Yeah, miss you.
Ooh.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Interesting.
didn't piece that together either.
Yeah. That's like one of the things I definitely missed, and now rereading it, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, they're expensive bags, and they're cool, and this husband, he gets a lot of these requests from people to bring some cool shit back. But yeah, Mrs. Chan, she's an assistant, I'm assuming, for Mr. Ho.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fucking decipher my notes.
Yeah. It's just like basically Mr. Ho's wife calls, and she just, she's like the homie for Mr. Ho. Mm-hmm. I mean, he really is a hoe because he's sleeping around,
Yeah.
And she's like being his dog, and she's fucking not dog and like she's a lap dog or something, like dog, like she's his homie and she's helping him.
Yeah.
Like manage these women. Not only is she assistant in work, it's like his whole personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have a note here that says people are too polite in this movie.
Yeah.
I think a couple of conversations, it's like, no, don't worry about it. You're too polite, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That comes up next when bloody Mrs. Chan is going out for dinner. And Mrs. One's like, why don't you eat with us? Why are you going out so late? She's like, nah, it's alright. I'm going to go get some noodles. She's like, eat with us. She's, nah, I'm not even hungry. I just want some air.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you're too polite. Come on. She just goes anyway.
Yeah. So, I have Mr. Chow, and I wrote Ming, but I think I meant to write Ping. Is it Ming? They have a chat, but I missed this conversation and then it looks like I stopped writing this note because I got interrupted again.
I think what happens is Mr. Chow's on the phone to his wife, and they're just chatting, and then he gets off the phone. Some really cool shots, by the way they do this. Like it's kind of similar to what happened in Fargo, where like sort of, but they have like one shot.
Yeah,
and that kind of moves between, but you see one person hang up the phone, and you see the other person hang up the phone. This kind of happens a lot during this movie, so you know who they're talking to, but initially you have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Which this movie can be very, I want to say, confusing at times.
Yeah, they kind of leave it up to you to decipher that some time has passed, even though like it's a continuous shot.
Yeah.
I definitely had that later on in the movie when when Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow, they walk past each other at like that dinner place.
Yeah.
Like one goes in and one goes out, and feels like time has elapsed, but they don't like necessarily call it out.
Yeah, you have to like kind of pay attention to what they maybe were wearing beforehand. They're usually in different clothes.
Yeah, and they're probably not getting dinner twice in the same day.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so Mr. Chow, bloody talking to not his. It's like he's. It's not Ping. It's someone else.
Ming?
Some other dude. Is it Ming? It might be Ming.
I wrote Ming, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
But the note I have here is people ask Mrs. Chan for shit a lot, and
yeah.
Mr. Chow says thank you and learns that Mr. Chan and Mrs. Chow talk. I think because he'd like gotten back from somewhere, and I think he was trying to like find his wife, and fuck, I don't remember.
Not quite. So before that, I guess this just kind of highlight that his wife is a scumbag. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Mr. Chow's like, oh, I want to take a few days off next month so I can, take the wife out, something nice. And like to his manager, he's like, please put in a good word for me. He's like, oh, all right, but lunch is on you. And then yeah, Mr. Chan brought back a rice cooker from Japan.
That's
and everyone's
yeah.
freaking out about it. And people are asking Mrs. Chan for shit, and they're like, "Oh, Chow, you should get one too." He's like, "Oh, I don't want to be a bother," and she's like, "No, it's no trouble. I'll ask my husband." So he's like, "All right, cool, thanks." And then you get a bit of a flash forward where Chow is like, "Sorry to trouble you with that." And he's like, "No problem, mate. Fucking, we're neighbours. He's like, what do I owe you? He's like, oh, your wife already paid me. Didn't she tell you?
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder how she paid him. Bloody.
Mm.
And,
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I had the note, but I didn't have the context. I thought the note would be enough, but it was not.
Yeah. No, sometimes it's a bit hard. Like, that's why I wrote so much shit down. Like, I'm not going to fucking remember this.
Yeah. But I think
so much is happening.
The next note I have is Mr. Chow chats to his friend, who I think is Ping, and they talk about how Mrs. Chan is fine. Like, she's, real good looking, and...
Yeah, Ping's a fucking dog. He's trying to get that married gushy. He wants it.
Yeah, and... If his wife wasn't so pretty, yeah, she'd be worried.
Yeah. Mrs. Chow would be worried if she wasn't so smoking.
Yeah.
Cause Mrs. Chan, ooh la la.
Yeah. She's very pretty.
But yeah, then you cut to another day, and Mrs. Chan comes a knocking. She's looking for Mr. Koo, but he's not there. She's chatting to Chow. She wants the paper, and they get to talking, and they're talking about the serials, which are like stories, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
I was wondering if they were like newspaper comics or if they were like stories, or I'm not 100%. But he's like, yeah, I thought about writing one myself, and she's like, oh, how come you didn't? He's like, oh, I couldn't even, but you can come borrow from my collection anytime. And she's like, okay, maybe another time.
Yeah.
And then she comes back one day to return the papers, but Mr. Chow hasn't been there for days. And it's because, him and his misso not having a good time. They're having a fight.
Bit of a lover's quarrel. Yeah, and Mrs. Chow, she works late. A lot. And...
yes.
Starting to get a little bit sus. So Mr. Chow, I think he was talking to Mrs. Chow on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, nah, I gotta work extra late tonight. It's really busy. Blah blah blah." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, no worries." And then he comes to like surprise her at work and pick her up. But she's not there. Boss man's like, "Oh, nah, she finished early tonight. Didn't she tell you?" Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and there's a pretty cool scene here, the way they shot it, where, like, in Mrs. Chow's office, they've got, like, 2 windows, and you never see her or Mr. Chan's face.
Yeah.
So you always get this shot behind of her sitting in the window and her talking on the phone. It's just her, like, back of her head and stuff. And then when Chow goes there, it's the window directly next to it, and you get like this whole different view. And I just thought that was a cool little shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's definitely having an affair.
Yeah.
And Chow's so onto it. He's He knows.
Yeah, he's sus. And
Just want to call out. Call this from the very beginning.
yeah, it kind of had that vibe to it.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Chan, she's picking up some food from somewhere. She's got like a little like canister that I think is just for like soup and stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna go get it filled up and take it home. And it's a bit of a solo dinner, a bit of a lonely dinner, but it also feels like it's pretty habitual for her. Like she's used to doing this.
Yeah.
And you have like a nice long take here where like she because she has to like go downstairs to this restaurant, and when she's coming back upstairs she passes I don't think she passes, but like she leaves and then Mr. Chow like arrives at the same place to get dinner, and you're like, okay, yeah, he's also having himself a lonely dinner. But he's just not taking it home. He's like staying there and having his dinner. And he's not a very happy chappy when he's having his lonely dinner.
They both look incredibly sad in this scene.
Yeah. And he's very contemplative as well. Like,
Yeah.
he's sort of just got that 1,000-yard stare.
He's lamenting for sure.
Yeah. It's the next night. It's the same thing, but this time they actually pass each other in like on the stairwell. And I think this happens like a couple of times.
Yeah, they kind of like look at each other, but not really at like different times. Just like kind of side glances, like, oh yeah,
yeah.
You know. And then
neighbor,
and then
who we got
they're
now?
We got Chow sitting in his office doing work, and who's this bloody Ping? He gets out of the hospital. He's like, "You're out of hospital." He's like, "Yeah, I need $30, just off rip, just off rip." This guy, he hasn't seen him. He thinks he's unwell. He comes to him. He's like, "I need $30." He's like, "What for?" He's like, "Ahoy gave me a bad tip. I lost all my money on the fucking ponies, eh?" And then, then I went to a whorehouse and I smashed on credit. And, she let me smash because I'm a regular, but, she was waving my ID in front of everybody. So I need $30 to go save face. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Chow, he's a good dude. He gives him a little bit of money. He's like, "This is all I can spare."
Yeah. He also mentions stitches. Which gave me the vibe that the reason he's in hospital is because he needed to get stitches because he spends all his money on the ponies and gets himself into a bit of trouble, old mate Ping.
Yeah. Bloody different ponies, am I right?
Yeah.
Ponies on the course?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then he gives
Ping's a fucking dog.
He is, but he's also a loyal dog.
Yeah.
Because he gives his mate Mr. Chow a bit of a tip. What does he say?
He's like, "Oh, I saw your wife with someone yesterday walking down the street." Is Mr. Chow, even though he's got some idea of what's going on, he probably knows. He's like, it's probably just a friend, Yeah, he's like, "Okay. Just thought I should let you know."
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty dismissive, but yeah, he knows deep down.
Yeah, he knows. That kind of, it's just the cherry on top, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other people are starting to notice.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got bloody boss man, Mr. Ho. I think his name is.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We're in the office and Mrs. Chan's been running some errands for him and managing the ladies.
Yeah.
And she goes to gives the change back to Mr. Ho, and he's like, no, keep it. I've been having you running around after me. You keep it. And then he's like, why don't you like join me for dinner? Because the dinner supposed to be like with the fam, because I think it's Boss Man's birthday, right?
I think so, yeah.
And there's a comment about how like Miss Yu, the mistress, sort of like called in and sort of like understands that, you know, on birthdays and special occasions like that, it's you know, family time.
Yeah, stinker.
Yeah, and you know, she understands she'll stay on the sidelines for now. But then, you know, Mr. Ho, he's like a nice boss as well. He's like, you know, why don't you take tomorrow morning off? And I can't remember if she accepts this or like she dismisses it.
I don't remember this at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I think she's like, don't worry about it. And then he leaves. I think she calls home. She calls Mr. Chan and says that it's really busy at work and that she'll be home late.
Yeah.
And then she...
Which is like not true. I think she just doesn't want to go home.
Yeah, well, I think it's a plot because then Mrs. Chan goes home and she... like the next scene, she's knocking on the door at the Chow residence because she said she heard a man's voice talking, and she thought that Mr. Koo or Mr. Chow were home because they wanted to talk about like
they thought Mr. and Mrs. Koo were back.
Yeah, and they wanted to talk about like the papers or like the cereals or whatever. And Mrs. Chow's like, nah, nobody here.
Yeah,
and then
she's like, yeah, you alone?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And she's like, you're home early. You know, she's like, oh, no, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
You know, but Chan's doing her due diligence. Good neighbor. She's like, you want some medicine? And, you know, Mrs. Chow is just very dismissive. She's like, nah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She closes the door. She's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Mrs. Chan.
She shuts it in her face. She's done talking. 1 sec. I'm just going to take my jumper off.
Yep. So, Mrs. Chow, she goes into the other room.
Editing me, leave that in because it's fucking heating up, this story, am I right?
It is heating up because Mrs. Chow, she goes in the other room and she's like, oi, it was your wife. We shouldn't meet here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think in the very next scene, Mrs. Chan's having a bit of a cry in the shower. She's like, yep.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I had no idea who this was. This scene kind of confused me.
I just assumed it was Mrs. Chan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Mrs. Chan too. But yeah, bloody someone was knocking at her door while she was crying in the shower, I think.
Really?
I think someone was knocking. Someone knocked on the door. I don't know if it was her husband. I don't know what happened there, but it's the next day. All right. Her boss is like, let Mr. Chan know the shipment may be delayed. And here's a gift. And then, oh, fuck. No, sorry. Bloody Mrs. Chan gives Mr. Ho a gift for his mistress. And she's like, she'll meet you later. Call her when you get a bit, in a minute. And she goes to make a coffee for him, and she's just fucking going through it.
Yeah, because it's hitting a little bit too close to home, like this whole mistress and wife situation.
She can't get away from it.
Yeah, and she also notices Boss Man's tie. That's looking a little bit fancy, a little bit attentive, and it's like, oh, you changed your tie. He's like, yeah, how'd you know? And she's like, oh, you can notice a lot when you pay attention to like these little things.
Yeah. You notice things if you pay attention.
Yeah.
Which, what?
Mm-hmm. So,
very sad.
Yeah, and
how terrible.
I think Mr. Ho, he seems like he's a little bit of a pro because he changes his tie. He's like, yeah, I should probably keep this on the down low or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't born yesterday, all right. He knows how to sneak around.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not get too fancy. But I think we have another one of these like lonely dinner, like walk-bys again, right?
But I just want to say at this, like, whenever there's one of these like lonely walk-bys, there's always, it's like in slow-mo and they've got this dramatic ass music going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just wanted to point that out because they do it like,
They do it a lot.
they do it a lot. There's got to be at least like 8 of them.
Yeah, they play 2 songs in this movie, and they repeat them both of them a couple of times.
Is it 2 or is it 3? Because there's 2
maybe
Spanish songs, but I think they might be different songs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was all just the same song, but they like, I think they chop it off like a little bit early. Like I think they play like the first little bit of this other, like the Spanish song, throughout the movie, and then at the end they start to like play the rest of it. I'm not 100% sure though.
I'm also not 100% sure. So 2 or 3, whatever. Not a lot of variety in music, but it is, I think it's used pretty well.
Yeah.
Because there's like no music in this movie apart from those scenes. It really just kind of lets the atmosphere and the dialogue do its thing. The vibe the scene gives off. There's no additional help. But yeah, it's bloody raining. You know, Chow walks out past. They walk past each other. He's going up the stairs. It starts raining, so he comes back. He's having a sad cigarette on the stairs, and bloody, they both just look miserable, and it's pouring, and they don't even say a word to get to each other, but they're going up to the apartment at the same time. They're both about to go into their doors, and Mr. Chow turns to her and he goes, "I haven't seen your husband lately." She's like, "Oh, you know, he's abroad." He's like, "That's why you're always at that spot." She's like, "Yeah, I don't like to cook." Like, "I haven't seen your wife lately." And he's like, her mum's sick." Yeah. They're kind of like, "All right, cool." And they go their separate ways. They go inside. And then I think it's another day. Miss Chan leaving her apartment to go get food or go to the pictures. I can't remember exactly. She just does her own thing because she's just lonely. And she kind of gets judged like hard as fuck by by Mrs. Suen and whoever else is there. They're like, Mrs. Suen's like, "She's so lonely." And someone makes a comment, I'm not sure who exactly. They're like, why is she dressing so fancy to go get noodles? Yeah, so there you go. She's going to get noodles.
Yeah. I think there's an interesting thing where like they talk about how they haven't seen each other's significant others recently, where each of them, they sort of go into like this automatic excuse that they used to just telling people when people like ask about their like wives and husbands and it feels like they don't really believe it. Like, you know, they both have a pretty clear suspicion that their significant other is like cheating on them. And it just must be like so frustrating, like to have to rattle off that excuse every time, even though you don't believe it. But it's just like, you know, it's what you need to say to people, so you're like, you're not making waves and you're not like contributing to like any gossip.
Yeah, they're saving face themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's a new day, and Mrs. Chan gets home and she's about to open her door, and bloody who other than Mr. Chow opens it. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, I was just calling Mr. Koo. Because I'm guessing these doors that they go into, they're like separate apartment kind of complexes. I'm not exactly sure how they work. It confused me a little.
Yeah, it's not it's not very clear how it all is supposed to look. I'm guessing it's just like a really big, like, open apartment that is sort of, I don't know. Yeah, it's really hard to wrap your head around.
It's like the common areas are like, just use them. There's like common areas, I guess, like a lobby almost, but it's very like it's like a tight little space, just like it's just a room,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got separate rooms, and the room you're renting is just your bedroom, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But he makes a comment. He's like, "You're back pretty late." She's like, "Oh, yeah, went to the movies." He's like, "Okay, see ya."
Yeah, she goes to the movies by herself a lot.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I
But,
I
you
just
could
wonder,
tell-
like, is she actually going to the movies, or like, is she just doing something else?
She might be. I feel like she probably is. She's probably just freaking bored. Got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
And,
I guess
she gets
they
a
do talk
call.
about like single life hobbies later on. Don't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And she gets a call from who other than none other. Fucking what? She gets a call from none other. Who else but Mr. Chan? And he takes her out.
Mr.
And
Chow.
there, Mr. Chow, he takes her out and they go on a little date just to, get to know each other, I guess. He's like, you're probably wondering why I asked you out. I wanted to ask you, where'd you get your bag? I want to get one for my wife. He's like, oh, you're so good to your wife. He's like, not really. She's fussy as fuck.
Yeah.
But her birthday's in a couple of days and
It
I don't
looks
know
very
what to get.
elegant.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a little bit of a compliment for her as well. Like it's a
Yeah.
little bit sly. It's like, well, it looks nice and you look nice,
Yeah,
but I
you
want
have
to get
great
one for my
taste.
wife. Yeah.
You look so good, but without saying it. And she's like, oh, she wouldn't want the same one. It's like, do they come in different colors? He's like that. He says that. And she's like, they come from abroad, He's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then she wants to ask him something. She's like, where'd you get your tie? He's like, I don't know. My wife got it. This is from abroad too. She's like, what a coincidence. And they're like, yes, what a coincidence. My husband has one just like it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
He
a
said
gift
it was-
from his boss.
Yeah.
He's like, and my wife, she's got a bag just like yours. She's like, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you getting at? She's like, I thought you were the only one. I thought I was the only one.
Yeah, that knew about it, yeah.
Yeah. So they definitely know. They both know each other now. They're like, I wonder how it started. And they know they get home kind of late, and they know their partners so well. It's like, won't your wife complain that you're coming back so late? She's like, nah, she's used to it. What about your husband? It's like, whatever. He's probably asleep. And then, Mr. Chow, you sly dog, he goes, shall we stay out? And he grabs her hand and just like, my husband would never say that. I don't know why my voice just broke so hard, but
that's what Mr. Chan sounds like.
yeah.
But it's a little bit of a misdirect, right? Like you
Yeah.
feel like they're getting up to a little bit of cheekiness as well because they've found out about everything, but it's really they're role playing how it may have gone when their significant others got together and decided, oh, let's cheat, let's hook up.
Yeah, they. I feel like I'm only just realizing this now because the scene confused me the first time, but later on, it makes way more sense because they continuously do this throughout the movie.
Yeah, it happens a couple of times, and it sort of like blurs reality a little bit. Like you're not really sure what's real and what's not in some scenes.
It's like they're almost convincing themselves they're doing this to get an understanding of what happened, but really it just feels like this is the only way they can like talk to each other without being disloyal, because they don't want to be the same. They don't want to be like their partners, their significant others. They don't want to go down that road because they don't like that. They don't want to do that to somebody.
I also feel like it's a little bit of a blame game as well. Like, No, it was your partner that instigated and made it happen, and convinced my partner, like, that sort of thing. Because she
Yeah.
says, like, "Oh, do you really know your wife? Like, do you actually know that she didn't instigate it?"
Mm.
And this sort of continues into the next scene. They go out to dinner, and they're role playing as the other person's SO, and it's to the extent where, like, they're trying to order the same food that their partner would.
Yeah, they're really trying to get into the mind of the other person. This is
Yeah,
like the greatest method acting in the world.
yeah,
Maybe that's why she's seen so many pictures. She's trying to get ready for her role.
yeah. And it's a bit weird, but it sort of makes sense trying to, like, rationalize it. That, they wanted each other, and it wasn't for any sort of reason where, like, and this is sort of reinforced later when Mr. Chow is talking. He's like, this is towards the end of the movie where he's like, I'm not, like, looking at myself for, like, mistakes I've made for leading to her, like, cheating. Like, it was just something that she wanted to do, and, like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it from that perspective. Like, they're trying to rationalize it and make it seem like a little bit more like human, and sort of comfort them that it had nothing to do with them. They're just shitty people that just did what they wanted, without sort of thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, they have their little dinner, and then they go home together. They share a car. They live at the same place, but they have a conversation in the car, and she's like, "Why'd you call me at work today?" And
Why didn't you?
oh wait, no, sorry. The car comes after. Sorry. She says, "Why do you call me at work today?" He's like, "I was bored. I wanted to hear your voice." And she goes, "You do a good impression of my husband. He's a real sweet talker too." And then they're riding in the car together, and she goes, "Why didn't you call me today?" And Mr. Chow's like, "I was afraid you wouldn't like it." And she's like, "Don't call me again then." So she's like mad, and like it's so hard to tell if this was real or not. Because I feel like she probably wanted him to call. She was expecting a call.
Well, I feel like they sort of rehearse how they're going to confront their partners as well.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're sort of supporting each other through this. Like, if she can rehearse it with him, and then he tries to sort of sweet talk his way out of it, she can stay strong and give him, like, the cold shoulder and be like, "No, you can't just fucking sweet talk your way out of this. You should have called me today."
No, yeah, that makes sense. Looking at it like that. And yeah. And then the next day, gets a bloody letter from her husband. But wait a sec. It's not for her. It's for Mr. Chow. And Ama, which is like Miss Suen's mum, I think, is like, "Oh, silly me. I thought because of the Japanese stamp it was for you." And she delivers the letter to him, and he reads it, and he fucking scrunches it, and he crumples the paper, and he slams the door. And then it's another day, another cut. He's with Mrs. Chan. They're talking. Well, she's talking to him. She's like, "Your wife's in Japan. When is she back?" He's like, "I don't know. What do you?" And then Mr. Chow, I'm pretty sure, says, "Is like, what do you think they're doing right now?" Which is just awful.
Yeah.
I would not want to think about that.
Dude, I'm having a fucking brain blast about this movie at the moment. A lot of things are sort of, like, being pieced together in my head, because I have the movie playing, like, on my screen just with no sound, because, like, I sort of, like, run through my notes, and then, like, I can see where we are in the movie along with the notes, and a lot of things
Yeah.
are being pieced together that I didn't put
Yeah.
together before. I'm like, oh shit.
Reading over this again, it's blowing my mind. How many like subtleties? I guess it's not so subtle, but upon the first watch, like I was really trying to take this movie in, but I
was also really trying to take it in. I mean, I was pausing so often to take it all in, but there's a lot of things I missed. So the knocking at the door that you were thinking of.
Yeah.
We're circling back, okay? We're derailing this podcast.
It's fine. Like, we don't have to fucking talk about the plot chronologically.
Yeah.
Okay?
So,
if you've seen the movie, we're talking about it. We're just getting into it.
Yeah, so she's crying in the shower, right? And then it's the knocking on the door is like around this scene, but it's not at the same time as she's in the shower. Like, you don't hear someone knocking at the door. The scene cuts and there's a woman's hand knocking on a door. And then it cuts again. And I'm thinking that littered throughout this movie, I think there's chopped up bits of a scene that we didn't see in its like entirety, but it happens at like the end of the movie where I think, you know, that place with like the red curtains, that they like go to and they write and stuff. I think a conversation happened in that place about them going to Singapore and like running away together, and I think originally it might have been framed as like it was like Mr. Chow's idea to do it, but maybe Mrs. Chan asked and maybe he refused because he didn't have the courage to do it. Or like maybe she asked him to run away with her, but he's like, no, I'm going to go to Singapore and help Ping instead. And then like maybe he like walks out, because I think like the knocking on the door is her like showing up to talk to him, and then like it cuts, because again later, like a couple scenes after this, we have another cut and they're standing in that room and they look like really sad and really contemplative, like it's like there's a lot of tension, and then nothing, like, and then you sort of like cut away from that scene, but it's in that same area. Mrs. Chan's like wearing a red dress, like a very vibrant red dress when she's in there, so I'm thinking now that the scene that we didn't see, we actually did see it. It was just chopped up into little pieces and spread out through the movie. So I'm like putting all the pieces together.
I'd like to see an edit of that, put all together again.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No. Just that would be cool to see, but that sounds like you'd have to watch the entire movie again.
There might be something on YouTube that like sort of pieces all of that together.
Yeah, I might have to watch the movie again at some point, because I like understand, but I think I'm missing some scenes in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not until now that I've got it on in the background that I'm seeing all these scenes that really stand out and don't really make sense with a lot of the colors in the other scenes. Like she sort of wears this like sort of greenish gray dress throughout the rest of the movie that has like little red tinges on it, but in this one scene it's like a very vibrant red dress.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Alrighty. Anyways,
back to the movie.
Yeah. So what happened last? They're like, oh, what do you think they're doing right now? And then you get another scene that's in slow-mo of, with that same song. And he's looking at her and she walks away. And now they're in a car. He's like, you okay? And she's like, pull over here. He's like, why? She's like, I'll get out first, you know, doing their cheating thing. Their
so they're
role
not.
play.
Yeah, so it's so they're not seen coming back to the house together.
It kind of like works in both aspects as well, though.
Yes,
Like they don't want to be
yes.
seen together, but they're role playing at the
Yeah,
same time.
Yeah,
And it kind of now highlights later in the movie when they do have like a genuine hangout sesh and they're not just role playing.
yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's real hard to tell what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost like not that the relationship is fake, but it was built on something that isn't real,
Well, the thing is,
like a hypothetical almost.
it starts off like trying to rationalize it, and it eventually sort of blossoms into emotionally cheating. Right? They're not doing it physically. They're not having sex. They're creating an emotional relationship that's sort of, yeah, it's just like not quite the same thing, but it also is like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like it's its own thing. Like
it's its own thing. It's in the same vein though.
yeah,
Like it's like depending on who you ask, it's just as bad. Like sex is one thing, but an emotional connection, like a love connection with somebody that isn't your partner is like, that's crazy. That's cheating.
yeah. If you definitely like allow yourself to be in that position to develop those feelings, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they're doing the song and dance like, oh, let me get out first. She's like, no, let me. So I think I think Chow gets out first. And then another cut, raining again. Chow's running undercover. And he's fucking got so much aura in this scene. He's posted up, foot on the wall. You know, he looks like a greaser almost. He's having a cigarette in the rain. And then you get another cut. And it's the same shot, but you've got Ping walking down the alley that Chow was posted up in. And he meets up, he's going to see Chow, and he sees Mrs. Chen, and she's like, oh, Ping, you're back. He's like, yeah, I came to have lunch with Chow, but, you know, he's sick and all alone. And it's just like, why don't you get some congee? He's like, nah, you want sesame syrup. Fucking, because you can't taste anything, that pain in the ass. And, you know, you get a cut, and it's Mrs. Chan. She's whipping up some dish, and Mrs. Suen comes in. She's like, "Oh, what are you cooking?" She's like, "Oh, I was craving some sesame syrup."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like a whole pot, and she's like, "Ah, I might as well." She's like, "Oh, you're so generous," you know.
Yeah.
It's like, try it. You know?
This scene, I like this scene a lot because it reminded me of when I used to live with Nick. I lived with him for like 2 years, and it just reminded me of when his mum would cook, and like especially when they had family over, because Nick's mum is Chinese and they speak Cantonese in the house. So when the family was over, it was just like so many people talking all at the same time, and something's always cooking, and like it was like that would have been like 10 years ago now. So yeah, it was like going 10 years in the past, like just feeling that vibe all over again.
That's very sweet and wholesome.
Yeah. Nick will be happy to hear that.
Yes, sir. I hope he likes this podcast. I hope he listens to it. I hope he listens to it and it's like, yes, yeah. I also liked that part.
Yeah.
It would be nice to hear, because obviously he recommended this movie. It'd be nice to hear what he thinks about this movie. And, you know, maybe he could elaborate on some things for us that maybe we missed.
Yeah, maybe I can reach out to him and get like a little comment from him, and we can stick it on the end of this podcast or something.
Mm.
See how that goes. That might be like a cute little thing.
Insert here. Just a little editing trick.
Yeah. Let's do it at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, stay tuned to the end of the episode if you want to hear like a cute little interview with Nick talking about this movie.
Yeah, and if it doesn't happen, then this is getting cut. Okay, let's get back to the movie. Back to the movie. They bump into each other on the street, and old mate Chow is about to go get some chow. Ho ho!
Ooh.
He's like, "You want to join me, Miss Chow?" And she's like, "Nah." It's like, "You finished working late. You know, you're a busy lady." He goes, "Nah, just saw a picture." It's like, "Was it good?" She's like, "Nah." And then this is where they talk about when you're single, you're so free to do like, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're married, everything changes, right? Like
you have to make all the decisions together.
Yeah, and she agrees, and it's like, and then Chow goes on about, I wonder what would have been like if I hadn't married. You know, what about you? She's like, maybe I'd be happier, which is just so sad. She goes on and she says, I didn't think like it would be this complicated. When you're single, you're only responsible for yourself, you know? Yeah. And she kind of asks him, he's like, yeah, same boat, but, you know, don't brood over it. It's not, I don't think it's my fault. And like, life is too short to worry about stuff like this. The show must go on. Yeah. It's just like, well, what's your plan then? He's like, I'm going to write a serial. Do you want to help me? She's like, oh, I don't know. I only read, really. She's like, oh, come on. She's like, oh, all right. And then he thanks her for the syrup, and she's like, I was making it anyway. He's like, that's amazing, because I was craving some syrup. Yeah,
what like, a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Lots of coincidences in this movie. Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to jet. I'm going to go get some noodles.
Yeah, he's going to go do noodle time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I have like a little bit of a theory here that maybe he doesn't go get noodles. Like, but I think he goes like straight to the office to work on this like martial art serial thing that he was talking about, and that he only would have gone and got noodles if she said yes.
Yeah. I think you might be right, because the next scene he's at work and it's late as fuck.
Yeah, and he's brooding as well.
Yeah.
The thing he said he's not going to do.
He was brooding, and he has...
But he's brooding over her. Like, he's not brooding over his relationship, it feels like.
And he's having a sad cig, and it's slow-mo, and it's the same music as before. Mm-hmm. And then... I'm not sure if it's the same day or the same night even, but she's at the office and seems like she's working late too. Yeah. And then it's back to Chow, and he's working, you know, kind of get these cuts between these scenes.
Yeah, we have a writing montage. Yeah. And then, like, they're showing each other, like, the work they've done so far. And like, there's no dialogue, but you see Chow. He kind of like gestures over to Mrs. Chan, and it's just like, "Oh, check this out." And she's like looking at it, and then she's like kind of like subtly, sort of like shaking her head, like she's giving feedback, and they're like collaborating on this project together.
It's very cute. It's very, very cute.
And then we cut, and Mr. Koo has arrived.
Mr. Koo, he's got that sauce in him. He's had a little too much. He's drunk as fuck.
He's had a few too many Tsingtaos.
He's had a few too many Tsingtaos. He's got that Asian glow. That's what they call it, right? They go like red.
I don't know.
Right? It's like a genetic thing where they go red when they drink alcohol. Asian people. Not all the time, but it's
Yeah. Alcohol flush reaction, also known as Asian glow.
There you go. He's got that Asian glow, baby.
Due to a genetic variation affecting alcohol metabolism.
Yeah. And then, who's that? It's me. And Mrs. Chan opens the door. She's like, "Oh, you scared the fuck out of me." And she's like, Mr. Koo, he's fucking drunk as usual, you know. They weren't expecting them back so early, so they almost, you know, they could have gotten caught. And they're just in kind of quietly. He's like, "Finish your noodles. Eat your noodles. They'll probably leave soon. Do you want some soup?" So yeah, they're sneaking hard, and bloody, there's a fuck ton of racket. There's just so much noise going on. So Chow goes to investigate, and he's like, "Are you guys playing here tonight?" She's like, "Yeah, but we're only gonna play 8 rounds. Don't worry." And then he goes back to the room with Mrs. Chan. It's like, "They're gonna play till morning." He's like, "Nah, they said it'd only be 8 rounds." He's like, do you really believe that?" And this scene to follow is just so funny because they're just like locked in the room.
Yeah.
Just like they can't do anything because they're held prisoner in like their own house for fear of being caught. But Chow's like, well, you get some rest. I'm going to start writing.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you up to?" She's like, "The drunken master just showed up, you know, like a thing. I don't know what the word is for it, but you know, it's like Mr. Koo, you know."
Oh, yeah, I hadn't put that together.
Yeah.
I've seen the Drunken Master movie.
Yeah. It's a kung fu. Master. It's a kung fu cereal, by the way.
Yeah.
Probably we didn't mention that, but it's a kung fu cereal. So
she looks time.
Yeah, she looks stressed as fuck in this scene as well, by the way. Like, I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So, it's morning time, and they're still stuck, and they're doing their sneaky cheating behavior without actually cheating. Because they're just worried that people think that they're cheating, and they don't want the gossip. So they're both sort of like cold and sick at work, and you know, they waited out a little bit, and when the coast is clear, they open the door, and Mrs. Chan sort of like scurries along to her house, and she gets intercepted by a nosy neighbor. And she's like, "Yo, why are you getting home so late? I didn't see you leave this morning." And you know, they've got their yeah, and they got their pre-recorded responses like, "Oh yeah, I was doing this and I was doing that." And it's like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, catch you later." And then we have like a cut to some bippies on the floor. And I'm like, "Oh no, did they leave their bippies behind?" And I'm like, "Oh, she said the shoes were bad. Like that's why she's limping." I'm like, "Oh, it's because she's wearing Mrs. Chow's shoes to leave the house because she can't come home after like pretending to be at work wearing a little bippies. She has to wear like dress shoes to come home, so she's wearing someone else's shoes that don't fit right, and that's why she's got like a little bit of a limp going on, because they keep cutting back to these bippies that are in Mr. Chow's apartment.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. You just pointed that out for me. There's a lot of things that that we would have missed if we hadn't, you know.
It's all these like
talking about it.
Little bits and pieces and schemy things to do, like cheating behavior and all the things that they have to do to sort of like get away with it. Like at first I'm like, I had to question like, why are they showing the bippies? And why are they commenting on like the way she was walking, and then why does she look so distressed when she got home? And then I had to like pause it and think about it for a little bit. I'm like, oh, because of this. Like, how does this tie back to like cheat behavior? Because I didn't get the when Mr. Chow gets out of the car first, and then she sort of drives home like the rest of the way, or she gets driven home the rest of the way. I was like, why? Why did they do that? Why is that happening? And it wasn't until we're like recording the podcast now that I'm realizing, oh, it's because that's like they can't be seen at the same time, going home at the same time together. So they had to do that. And I thought it was interesting as well because like even though it's like cheating behavior and they're not together, he's still being like pretty like chivalrous. He's like, no, I'll be the one that like gets out of the car and has to like walk the rest of the way home.
Yeah. They even admit themselves in just the scene before she leaves that, you know, maybe we are being too cautious, but yeah, they're trying to avoid the gossip.
Yeah.
Like we can't make one wrong move. I think we get cut to a new scene and they're walking down the street together. He's like, you know, let's go out to eat. It's my shout because you won't accept any money for helping me write this serial, so let me show you some food. She's like, okay, I think I'm a little bit lost here.
It was like a special dinner tonight or something like that. I think it's, yeah.
But he's like, yeah, I'm going to get some more work soon. I'm looking for a new place to write in, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's nothing between us, but I don't want the gossip. And she's like, you don't need me. You can write on your own. And you kind of get the feeling that maybe she's maybe a little saddened, maybe a little hurt by this, that he's made this decision to just kind of go.
Well, that's
it's not going far, but
yeah.
It makes sense, and it kind of ties into the scene beforehand where they can't have any privacy. So he's getting his own place so they can be together.
Yeah, because it feels like Mr. Chow, he's already sort of stepped out of his relationship and he's sort of like out of it and washed his hands of it. Because after they come to that realization that, you know, Mrs. Chow's probably cheating, he doesn't really fixate on Mrs. Chow again after that. Like, he seems sort of done. He's ready to sort of like move on, and, you know, he can go and get this other place where Mrs. Chan, she seems still a little bit tied to Mr. Chan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, you know, he's moving away. He's not as close as he was before. But also the bit I was getting at is that you know, it sort of feels like, oh, let's rent a room at a hotel where we can get some privacy together, which is also like sort of cheaty behavior, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of
definitely
like stepping further into that behavior without doing the actual act.
Yeah, it's like, it's so borderline. It's pretty much is, right? But in their minds, it's not quite. They're still not as bad as their SOs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we get a little bit of a cut. They have their dinner, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his new crib, and he hasn't been at work for days.
Mm-hmm.
And work gets a call. He's like, "Who's this?" They're like, "Any messages?" He's like, no worries. You don't know who it is initially, but it was Mrs. Chan, and she's working. And then Mr. Ho comes in. He's like, you can leave. Everything's done, you know. And then she gets a call, I think.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, and it's just like, hello?
Why?
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 Where?
I used to hear that all the time. Oh my god, it was the best. Just, why?
what? Yeah. And she's like, where are you? And she's on her way, and she's fucking hauling ass. She's running up those steps. She's so keen. She's running down her steps, I think. And then Chow's doing a 1,000-yard stare out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Knock at the door. And they hang out. And this is where I took a huge break. This is where I took like a 4-hour break from this movie. I just needed a break. See, because I was writing these notes. Relatable. I know you can relate.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll come again tomorrow. It's like, don't worry. Like, I'll probably feel fine tomorrow.
Yeah, he seems like he's sick.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's why he's been missing for a couple of days. Because he's been sick. And it could have been all the times that like he gets out of the car early and has to walk and like run in the rain. And then he gets sick.
This guy's always getting drenched.
Yeah.
And he's like, call me when you get home, let it ring 3 times and then hang up. Just like, you don't actually have to speak. Just let me know that I guess you're okay,
Yeah. Kind of like our version of like, home safe.
Yeah. And it's just like, we won't be like them. Or he's like, we won't be like them. We're not going to be like them. She's like, see you tomorrow. And she leaves. Yeah. And then you get a scene of her walking down the hallway, and then it just kind of like freezes mid-strut. And then you get a new scene, and they're working on the cereal together. They're having a great time. They're eating and spending time together and laughing. And like for the first time in this movie, they actually look happy.
Yeah.
Like both of them. They're just like listening to music and working and reading.
They're like singing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she was singing and just eating. And then you get
She has a very sweet smile as well. Like when she, because they're writing next to each other in front of a mirror, and then they keep looking up at each other in the mirror, but like out of sync with each other. So like they kind of look up and a little bit sort of amorously, and they're like, it's like, oh,
almost
so cute.
It's almost like a parallel to like toward the beginning when they're walking up and down the stairs. Yeah. They kind of slightly glance at each other at different times.
Yeah.
And then, she's sitting down with him. They're having some food, and she just pops a question. She goes, do you have a mistress? And he's like, what? You're crazy. Who told you that? And she's like, doesn't matter. Is it true? And he's like, nah. She's like, don't lie to me. Look at me. Don't lie to me. You got a bitch? He's like, yeah. And then she like gives him the weakest slap ever. He's like, that's piss weak,
No, I think he said that's like, too much.
No, he says that's no reaction. Really let him have it.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know how to react. Like, it's pretty hard for her. Like, she's having a lot of trouble with this. And he's like, all right, one more time from the top. Let's run it again. So they do, right? And then when he says yes, she just like doesn't react. He's like, are you okay? And she's like, I just didn't expect it to hurt this much. And she just kind of breaks down and cries, and they hug. And yeah. And then new scene. And Mrs. Chan is...
This is also what I was saying earlier, like how they're supporting each other in some of this role play stuff, like how they're going to confront their partners and sort of deal with this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. They're there for each other, and they're going through it, and they're trying to be as prepared as they can.
Yeah.
For this, I guess, plan that they have.
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's they're working on it.
Yeah.
So they work hard, play hard, write that cereal, have some fun, and now we got to do the South stuff.
Yeah, but Mrs. Chan, she's been out a little bit, maybe a little bit too much, and
Yeah.
Mrs. Suen is kind of getting a little bit sus, and she interjects herself into her life
Yeah.
to give her some advice. She's like, "Oh, I know you're young, and you want to have fun, but you've been out a lot.
Yeah, don't overdo it.
Yeah, don't go too crazy. Like,
Mm.
you should, like, when's your husband come back?" And she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't let him go away for too long at a time."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
just
guys are a couple, you should spend more time together.
yeah. You're like, "Get out of here, Mrs. Sue. You don't know what you're
Come on,
talking about."
you don't know anything.
Yeah,
What are you talking about, Mrs. Suen?
you're just fucking getting in the way, man.
Yeah, and Mrs. Chan, she's very polite, but you can tell that she's not extremely
Yeah.
happy about this lecture. She just nods and says goodnight and walks away.
Yeah, I think she's more upset that people are starting to notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the next
It's a
day,
new
and
day.
yeah, Chow. I think he's on the phone, right? And he's asking for some help because
Yeah, it's like, you should come over tonight, baby.
yeah, come help me edit. Oh no, come help me
Yeah.
write because the editor's on my ass.
Yeah, he
How do
says
you
I'm
get
too
this
slow.
done? Yeah, and she's like, "Nah, I got a lecture yesterday. I'm not feeling it. Let's
Is
let's not see each other as much as we are right now."
Yeah.
And then she just sort of just like hangs up the phone,
Yeah.
and so she just like spends a little bit more time like around the area. Like people are like, "Oh, you going out for noodles tonight?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in tonight." And they're like, "Oh, why don't you stay in with us and have some vegetable wontons? We're gonna fucking play mahjong or whatever."
Yummy, yummy.
She's like,
Sounds like a
"Yeah."
good time.
She's like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah,
Wait.
upon some insistence, she agrees.
Yeah,
And
and
you get the music slow-mo kind of thing.
mm-hmm. And
And
they're
she's
they're
sorry,
playing
you go.
mahjong, and she's kind of just like standing around the table watching them play, and she's doing the saving face thing, and she's making an appearance, but she's elsewhere, like up in the noggin. She's like, she's thinking about how she'd rather not be there, she'd rather be somewhere else, and like
Yeah.
her body is sort of on autopilot, just like yeah, cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, very pensive, standing in the corner of the room, sort of just like
Looking out the window, having
yeah.
a drink.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's Chow at work, and he's smiling. He's with his co-workers, and but it gives off like this.
He's doing
this
the same
false. Yeah, he's doing the same thing. It's like this false okayness, this false happiness. Because as soon as he turns away, his smile just fades so quickly, and it's in slow mo, and it fades quickly.
yeah.
And yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
They start being they're sort of like less careful now. Like there's a little bit more passion here, and they start making some mistakes. And Mr. Chow, he calls the office for Mrs. Chan, and the way we know this is boss man's like, "Oh, Mr. Chow called asking for you to talk to you," and she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." She goes down.
That's true. That's true. I thought the same thing. Is like, that's like not as cautious, but it also at the same time may not seem that irregular, because it's not like people don't ask her for things all the time.
That's true. But also, when she sits down at the typewriter, Mr. Ho gives her a bit of the side eye.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there feels like there's a little bit of maybe judginess going on.
Yeah. But then our guy, he's running in the rain.
He's running in the rain, and they meet, and they talk about the weather. He's like, "You've been here long?" it doesn't look like this rain is going to stop, so just wait here for a sec. And he runs through the rain. He comes back with an umbrella, and he's like, we can't be seen together, you know. You go first. And he's like, but it's your umbrella.
Yeah.
It's just like, so she's like, you go, you know. He's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't think that through, but I'll wait here with you, you know. She's like, did you call me? He's like, oh, I didn't think he got the message, you know, but I was going to ask about a boat ticket for Ping. This is like,
Yeah.
where you going? He's like, Singapore, you know. She's like, well, how long? He's like, I don't know, I'm going to play it by ear. She's like, but why? It's like, just to change the scene, you know, there's too much gossip. It's like,
Yeah.
but we know that's not true, you know. It's like, that's not us.
Yeah.
And it's like, I used to think the same thing, like, we won't be like them, but we can't not be like them.
Yeah, he's
And
a bit ashamed.
yeah,
He's already come to the realization that they have become them, just in a different way.
yeah,
And that he's come to accept that she's not going to leave her husband. And she's like, well, yeah, I didn't think you'd fall in love.
yeah. And he's like, me either.
Yeah.
But it just kind of crept up. You know, I thought I was in control, but I guess I wasn't. And I kind of just wish your husband would stay away, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He has one
yeah.
final request.
Yeah, he's like, can you do me a favor? She's like, what? It's like, I want to prepare. And then you get a cut and they're like in some alleyway. It's just like, you shouldn't see me again. Is your husband back? Yeah. Am I hopeless? He's like, not really. I won't see you again.
You better
keep
not
it.
see me again.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that fella, you know. He's holding her hand while he says this, and he lets go and he walks away. And at the time, you don't realize that this is... You initially get the impression that this is going to be a role play, right? That's where you think this is going. And then, but once they start talking, it seems like a real conversation. And it seems like they actually... This is like their final goodbye. But then, you know, after that, it cuts to black. But then you hear crying. It's like, don't cry, you know. It's only a rehearsal. It's okay. And they hug and she's crying hard and they're sharing a car home together. And again, this feels real. It doesn't feel like a role play. I think this might be real. She's like, I don't want to go home tonight. And they hold hands and her head is on his shoulder. And I think that's that.
This scene, it confused me a little bit because I wondered if it was for the perspective of Mr. Chan and Mrs. Chow, like how this conversation might play out after like he gets confronted by the wife. Yeah, like I didn't 100% understand how, like, why Mrs. Chan got so upset.
Yeah.
But I guess if they're role playing this, then it's in the circumstance that her and Mr. Chan get back together, and I guess that means that she's realizing that nothing will happen with her and Mr. Chow, and maybe that's why she's so upset.
Yeah. It's a little difficult to say. I was a bit confused as well about what's really going on here. I know it's a rehearsal, but I'm not quite sure. I'm still not quite sure what they were rehearsing.
Yeah.
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 It's
I think it's... Yeah, I think they were role playing like their SOs again, and I think she was upset that her and Mr. Chow aren't going to be together. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then it's a new day, and you get a radio announcement for, like, it's like an apartment for the apartment. I'm not sure who's doing the talking. They're like, this is going on and that's going on, and Mr. Chan has made a request. He wants to play this song for his wife's birthday today.
Well, that's just what the radio was like back in the day, right?
Oh, was it?
You call the radio station and request songs.
True. That just seems so far-fetched now to be able to like to be able to just do that. I mean, Mr. Chan has a lot of money.
That's true.
And probably a lot of influence. But yeah, and then the happy birthday song kind of plays. It's like that melody, but there's like Chinese singing. I don't know the song.
I think it's probably just a happy birthday song in some sort of respect. But I have a theory that it wasn't Mr. Chan. I think it was Mr. Chow that probably called the radio and did like the birthday thing. I can't confirm it, but that's just like a little running theory that I've got.
That's just a theory.
Because that doesn't sound like Mr. Chan behavior, right?
No, it really doesn't.
He likes to bring back materialistic stuff from his trips.
Yeah, stuff like that, you know. Yeah. But yeah, the song plays and they kind of sit sadly against separate walls on like either side of the walls. Like, yeah. I'm not sure if they're in the same building.
It's just
I think they might be.
It's like they're so close but so far kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's holding his rice cooker and he's like kind of like a sentimental thing, and she's listening to this song and she's drinking her tea, and yeah, it's quite sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the phone rings, and it's Miss Chan's office, and who else is it but Mr. Chan? I'm sorry, Mr. Chow. It's like, if there's an extra ticket, do you want to come with me to Singapore? And then that's when I think a new song starts to play. It's Mr. Chow in his apartment, and he's kind of looking at the window, and this song is playing. He's looking quite dapper, and the song goes Kizas, 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 which the name of the song in English is Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. Smooth song. I just thought it was a nice song, so I looked it up. But it kind of gives you a little bit of insight to maybe what they're thinking, like maybe she will come. Perhaps this will become something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and if it's anything like Italian, chissà means who knows.
Yeah.
So like it could also be translated to perhaps, but
yeah. I think it was intentional with like music is used quite sparingly in this movie, and I think that probably has some meaning.
Yeah.
Well, sparingly in the sense that they only use like 3 songs. Maybe they just like the songs. But yeah, he leaves. He turns off all these lights and kind of mimics that scene where she's walking away and she freezes in the hallway. It does the same thing. Yeah, she's fucking running down her stairs. And then she's sitting alone in a room. I'm not sure where she is. I got a little bit lost here towards the end. Like, we're getting pretty close to the end. But she's sitting alone in a room, and she's lonely, and she cries, and Mr. Chow's words kind of echo in her mind. If there's an extra ticket, do you want to come with me?
I'm just watching the scene.
Yeah.
Trying to piece it all together, because I'm pretty sure it's in that apartment, because he leaves like the red curtain apartment and freezes, and I can't tell if it's like they either just missed each other or they had the conversation and he left without her, like maybe she said no or something. This bit's still like kind of open to interpretation, I guess.
Yeah, it gets very interpretive, I feel, towards the end of the movie.
Oh, she's not wearing the red dress. She's wearing a green dress. Damn. Maybe I was wrong.
I feel like I do remember her wearing the green dress. rereading through all of this, I hope that we can kind of piece together what was going on here, because I got a little bit lost. But I feel like up to this point, if you're really paying attention, you know what's happening. But I feel like this is different. Like this is like what is going on.
I'm looking at it now, and it seems like maybe she broke into his.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she did.
She broke into his room and like stole the ticket or something.
I don't know.
Because in the next scene, he's looking for something. And he's like, "Has someone been in my room?" And then he picks up a cigarette that has like lipstick on it.
Yeah. That part I think is a bit obvious, but what he is missing is not so obvious. But I think it comes into play later. I think she stole his cigarettes. I think she stole his cigarettes because she doesn't smoke. In the scene after the next scene, she's going through what seems to be his stuff, and I think this may have been beforehand. And she's like smelling this whatever he has. I don't know. It's like some oil or something. Probably because she like misses him. Hair. Yeah. Probably because she misses him, right? She misses the way he smells. She misses, he probably smelled like cigarettes. That's why she lit one up and she had a drag.
Yeah.
She has a couple drags. But before this, he's missing something. He can't find it, fucking nicotine addicts and their ciggies or their fucking vapes, you look around for it if it's gone.
True.
You'll crack the shits if you can't find it. And he looks like he's full cracked the shits.
Yeah, you saw that look in his eye. You're like, oh, yeah. I know that look anywhere.
I know that look anywhere.
Yeah, I don't smoke, so I've never had that.
Yeah, it's yeah. Maybe this scene isn't so what's the word? I don't know. Maybe the scene's not as hard to put together as I thought. But I just was maybe a little confused. But yeah, the next scene, because I think he's in Singapore. I think he's already in Singapore because he's with Ping. So I don't think she stole his ticket.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, it wasn't the ticket. Yeah, it was probably all the smokes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's with Ping and they're having something to eat. He's like, you know what they did in the old days when they had a secret? They fucking went up a mountain. They found a tree, they carved a hole in it, and they whispered the secret in it, and they covered it with mud, they plugged the hole, and then they just left it there.
Whoa, okay, I missed that. That makes the ending make so much more sense.
Yeah, you missed that?
Yeah, I missed the dialogue about it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Ping is just like, that sounds like a fucking pain. I'd just get laid. It's like, well, not everyone's like you, Ping. It's like, dude, I'm just an average guy. Like, I don't have any secrets. I don't bottle shit up like you. You got probably some crazy shit. It's like, I don't have any secrets. He's like, come off it, mate. Yeah. And then you get the scene where she's in his room going through his stuff, and she lights a cig, and she kind of takes a drag, and I think what was missing was his cigarette case.
Yeah.
With his cigarettes in it.
Yeah.
And she kind of makes herself comfortable, but she looks really restless at the same time. So I got the impression that she might have been waiting for him, but she got cold feet. They never ended up meeting. Maybe he never knew that she was even in Singapore. Well, I think he knows because of the lipstick stain on the cigarette. Oh yeah, duh, the lipstick stain on the cigarette. She smoked the cigarette. Fucking, how did I didn't even make that connection.
Wait, she's in Singapore?
I mean, they're in Singapore, right?
Are they both in Singapore?
I think they're both in Singapore, or did she not go?
I assume she didn't go. Like she's still there at the apartment because she calls in to Singapore daily.
True.
True. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe Chow waited, but then maybe he left without her, and maybe she showed up like this was like my initial thought. Like maybe she showed up late to the apartment and he was already gone, and maybe that's why she was like upset. I don't know. There's a bit in there that like I'm super hazy about. I haven't quite put all the pieces together.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. So I mean, the scene can be a little confusing. Yeah, she calls into Singapore daily, and the fucking guy picks up the phone and is like, hello?
Why?
Hold up. Why?
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 He's like, call for you, Chow. He's like, why?
Why?
Why? And, you know, it's her on the other line. She's not saying anything. And she almost says something, it looks like, and then she hangs up. And this is where I assume that she leaves Singapore, but I'm not so sure anymore. And then it's a flash forward, and I can't remember exactly what year this happened.
1966.
Oh no, I mean beforehand. I know the
first one was 1962, right?
Okay, I know it said it somewhere, but I forgot to write it down.
You did write it down because I got the info from you.
Oh, I thought there was another thing
You
before
said
1966.
I don't think so. It was Hong Kong 1966, and then after that it's Cambodia 1966.
Okay. So yeah, it's 1966, Hong Kong. Mrs. Chan, she's back. She's gone to see Mrs. Suen, and she's like, "Oh, what brings you here? Woohoo!" She's like, "I got a boat ticket for you. It's a small little gift, you know. Here you go. Here you go." And she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, I'm sorry, the place is a mess. I can't bloody throw anything away, can I? Have a seat, have some tea, you know, eat with us." And she's like, "Oh, I can't. I've got a work thing." And then Amma comes in, is like, you better bloody fucking eat with us, or Miss Suen's gonna be upset." It's just like, then they ask about her husband and how long she's got. She's like, "Yeah, it's all right." And then Chen asks Suen how long she's going, because she's going to the US to see her daughter, help her out with the kids. She's like, "Well, if I like it, I might stay, you know, but I don't really want to leave, but everything's different now, you know, the coup's left, I don't have anyone to play mahjong with, it's just not the same anymore, and my daughter needs help, so, you know." And then Chan's like, "Well, what's going to become of this place if you're not here?" She's like, "Well, I don't want to sell, so I might rent it." And Mrs. Chan, she's like, "Well, how much?" She's like, "Well, you interested? I'll give you a discount." She's like, "Oh, I'll think about it." "Who lives next door?" She's like, "I don't know. We don't talk. Everything's different now. Everything was so good back in the day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it so nice back then?" And Miss Chan kind of silently agrees, and she almost cries. You see the tears welling up in her eyes. She looks quite upset.
Yeah, but she does it secretly. Yeah. She does it like turned away from everyone.
Yeah. And then Jesus. And Chow comes back. He comes back to say hello as well. And he goes to pay Mr. Koo a visit, but he finds out he's moved away. You know, he brought a gift for him. And he gets a little bit of lore. He finds out that everyone's moved away.
Yeah.
And even Miss
Things are
Suen's
too
gone.
chaotic now.
Yeah. It's, is there any context for this, like historically? Like,
yeah, I looked it up when you were talking just before. Apparently there were riots in 1966.
Okay.
Hong Kong riots. It was to do with the British colonial government's decision to increase the fare for Star Ferry foot passenger harbour.
Okay.
So there was a riot. One person died. A lot of people injured, and like almost 2,000 people were arrested.
Oh, wow.
So dissatisfaction over British colonial rule, living and working conditions, and that was in Kowloon, which you would have heard of Kowloon before.
Yes, but no. I've heard of it, but I have no idea what that means. That means almost nothing to me.
Yeah, it's like Kowloon's like this little, it's like this tiny place that's like crazy, like densely populated.
Oh, okay.
I was looking it up. Urban area in Hong Kong comprising of the peninsula and New Kowloon has a population of 2 million people and a density of 43,000 kilometers squared.
Wow. That is not a lot.
Yeah, one of the three areas in Hong Kong Island. Oh, sorry, Hong Kong, along with Hong Kong Island and other territories. So, it is the smallest, second most populous, and most densely populated of the divisions.
Okay. But
So very densely populated, and yeah, there were riots in the 1960s in British colonial bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, Chow comes back to give Mr. Koo a gift, but, he's not there anymore because of said riots. Everything's chaotic, and he asks who's living next door now. He's like, some woman and her son live there now. Guess who that is. That kind of plays into that so close but so far away thing, Yeah, and because Mr. Koo, I think, lives in the Philippines now, I think was said. Yeah.
What did you say?
So I think Mr. Koo lives in the Philippines now, and there's no way to get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he just gives the gift to the fucking random guy that lives there. He's like, yeah, here you go, just have this, just have it. And yeah. And then you get a quote, and it says, it's a black screen with some writing. It says, nothing that belonged exists anymore. And then you get a new scene, and it's Mrs. Chen with her son, and they're on their way out. And then it's Cambodia, 1966. There's like a French broadcast. I think it's the Cambodian president is meeting with a French general. It's probably something to do with something.
In 1966, an agreement was struck between the prince and the Chinese, allowing the presence of large-scale PAVN and Viet Cong troop deployments and logistical bases in the eastern border regions.
Yes, this is when the Vietnam War was happening, wasn't it?
Yeah, round about then. So there was a Cambodian civil war from 1967 to 1975.
Okay, so it's about to break out.
It's about to kick off, and yeah, it was all related to the Vietnam War.
Okay, so yeah, and then we see Chow, and he's in Cambodia. He's at like some monastery, kind of. Maybe monastery is the wrong word. It's like the ruins of a temple. It's very, very old, and there's like a monk there, and he does the thing where he finds a hole in the temple, and he whispers his secret into it as the monk watches him. The monk's kind of like maybe like 10, 20 meters away, just sitting on this ledge, and he plugs the hole and he leaves, and there's just some nice shots of the ruins, and this is where you think the movie is about to end, but then you get one more quote just like before and the beginning of the movie. It reads, he remembers those vanished years as though looking through a dusty window pane. The past is something he could see but never touch, and everything he sees is blurred and indistinct. And that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
Finn.
That's
the
Finn.
End. Woohoo!
Woohoo! That is Finn.
That is Finn.
Yep. Makes a lot more sense with the previous scene context, because I was like, what's he doing in this hole? Is he blowing in it? What are you doing, buddy? Are you whispering secrets? Are you praying? But yeah, it turns out he was whispering secrets.
He's whispering secrets. He's leaving all these secrets there
to
die.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked though.
which I interpreted as regrets,
Yeah, pretty much.
missed opportunities.
With the quote at the start of the movie and the quote at the end, you see that, he never made his move. He wasn't brave enough to take that leap and just be super forthcoming. I mean, he said it, but he kind of didn't act on it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because of that, his life feels empty, and everything he sees is blurred and indistinct. He's like, he doesn't know what's what anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he only has these memories to look back on. I guess that's probably why he went there, because he's trying to forget.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So. What would you like to give me first? Your rating? Or would you like me to guess your favorite and least favorite parts?
Let's go rating.
Let's go rating?
Yeah.
All right, Brendan. Give me your rating.
So initially, at the start of this recording, I had a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
But after a little bit of talking and putting some more pieces together, I bumped it up to an 8.
Very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I think I am in the same boat, because initially I was thinking of giving this movie a 7. Possibly, I think a bit of it was because I feel like I didn't understand as much. And this movie made me sad. And
yeah.
It just left me sad and confused, and it's a very slow burn, and
It's a very slow movie for a hour 37, hour 38 movie.
Yeah. So initially I wanted to give it a 7, but after talking about it and realizing what's going on, I think it's actually quite cool. I think there's a lot of very subtle details that I would have missed if we hadn't talked about. And I'm glad we did talk about it, because I want to give this movie an 8 as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Whose kid do you think is the kid? Do you think they boned? Do you think they finally pulled the plug and boned?
Maybe they did bang when she was waiting in the hotel or his room. Maybe she did come to Singapore.
Maybe.
Maybe
that's why he's sort of having a harder time sort of letting go as well.
Yeah. A woman and her son.
Mm-hmm.
Gulp.
Yeah, because
oh my god.
Because they said the kid's cute
Quite
as well.
cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute kid. We never see Mr. Chen.
Yeah, we never see him.
Okay.
Interesting.
Alrighty. It's going to be very difficult to guess your favorite and least favorite parts of this movie. And I am absolutely stumped.
Yeah, I put this work in ahead of time before we started recording, because I knew if I tried to think about it like in the episode, it was going to take way too long. So I can make guesses for you first, if you like, and give you a little bit of time to think.
Yeah, yes, please.
So I think that your favorite bit was the bit where they're putting the pieces together with the tie and the bag. Like, they're having the dinner, they're like, oh yeah, my husband has that same tie. Yeah, my wife has that same bag. And they're sort of like, they're pretending that they don't know, and they're asking the questions first, even though they know very well where they got the tie and where they got the bag from. but
Yeah,
they're just like they're confirming their suspicions.
I didn't put that together until until we read through it again. I kind of like, I thought they were just finding anything to talk about initially. Like, I thought they were maybe possibly interested in each other, but I thought the reason for their gathering, their meeting, was so they could just talk, but they didn't have anything to talk about, and they didn't want to seem scandalous. So they just talked about their significant others. That was my initial impression, but upon rereading my notes and talking about it with you, I've realized that that's why.
Yeah.
But no, that's not my favorite part.
Okay.
My favorite part would probably be tied with I like they're locked in the room in the mahjong game. I just thought that was so funny that they played mahjong all night, and it was just funny. And probably the scene where they're just spending time together and they actually look happy.
Yeah, that was nice.
I thought that was real cute, and yeah.
So for your least favorite, I'm gonna make the guess that it was the ending, because the ending is quite bittersweet. They don't get together, and they don't cross paths in the future, and yeah,
I probably have to say you're right. I think I actually like the ending, though. I think what I disliked about it is how bittersweet and kind of just made me feel empty inside. And maybe upon thinking about it, I really didn't like how, I mean, it's just, again, I don't think it's bad. I think I just didn't like how close they were, like the woman and the son. He's right there. He's right next door, but he doesn't, he doesn't investigate. I mean, he probably doesn't think. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just like, oh, but you're so close.
Yeah. And I guess like he has no reason to assume that it would be her.
Yeah.
Because it's just a woman and her son.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't fit the profile.
Yeah. I mean, to his knowledge, she doesn't have a son, so.
Yeah. But it could be his son. It could be the reason that she pulls the plug on Mr. Chan, right? It's like, oh, I'm pregnant. I need to cut this off.
Yeah. Oh, what a sad movie. What a sad, sad movie.
Yeah.
Your favorite scene? I want to say the role-playing parts and the blurred line that kind of was between that and, how subtle it could be and trying to piece this movie together. I feel like piecing the movie together was, and like trying to understand it, I feel like over the course of this little 2-hour discussion has maybe become your favorite part.
It's interesting. Yeah, I did enjoy the the blurring the lines of reality with the role playing stuff. I thought it was very cool. And initially I thought Mrs. Chan's sort of scheme to trick her husband into cheating on her that night and investigate was like a very clever thing to do. And I thought that was going to be my favorite thing. But I'm just going to have to go with the nostalgia pool. It's got to be when...
Yeah.
It's got to be like...
the sesame syrup.
Yeah, the sesame syrup scene.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just like...
Dang, I should have guessed that.
Being like back in 2015 and eating sticky rice and... Oh, great times.
Man, I'm getting nostalgic, and I didn't even live through that. That's not even my memory.
Yeah, there's just something. I think it's because it is in Cantonese as well. It definitely, definitely triggers it for me. Because I don't get that same feeling when I hear Mandarin.
Yeah, fair. True.
Mm.
Okay. For your least favorite scene, maybe maybe initially I want to say the car scene where he gets out first, or they're kind of like, going back and forth about it because you said you were confused about that and like, why is this even happening?
Mm-hmm.
Or the end where you're like, why is this guy shoving dirt in a hole? Why is this fucking guy shoving dirt in a hole and whispering into it?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me now.
Yeah. That's why
I just assumed that I missed something. Yeah.
everything's so much clearer now going through it. Like, this is actually a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I could possibly pinpoint that might be your least favorite. Maybe the cheating?
For me, do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, just tell me.
For me, it was all the random slow-mo in the movie.
Felt
like it was overused in a couple of the scenes, and the slow-mo, it was like... It was slow, but it feels like it wasn't recorded in a higher frame rate. So
yes, okay. Yeah,
so
I
it
should
is
have
very
said
it is very stuttery, which is fine because
Yeah.
it was filmed in 2000.
It's 25 years old,
Yeah.
I thought this movie was older. I thought it was going to be like... I mean, I get my initial guess was like 1998 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty close, but yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the budget was for this movie.
I'm sure you could look it up.
Let's have a
And
look.
while you do that, I'm going to make a guess about your favorite character.
Go right ahead.
I think your favorite character is Ping.
Spot on.
I think because
Spot on,
he's a
mate.
bit of a
He's
homie.
funny.
He's a bit of a real one. He's a little bit
He's a
funny.
dog.
He's a little bit flawed as a person. I think you're all over him. I think that's your kind of favorite character.
Hell yeah. And I think your favorite character is Mrs. Sewin. Because she's a sweetheart.
Nah, she's nosy, man.
She's a nosy lady, but she means well.
Yeah, she does mean
Maybe, oh no, it's Mr. Koo.
it's not Mr. Koo.
Is it Chow?
I'm still umming and ahhing about it whether like it's Mr. Chow or Mrs. Chan. But I also think Mr. Ho's like a nice guy. Like maybe it's Mr. Ho. I'm really undecided. Yeah, he's a bit of a dog.
Yeah, maybe your favorite character is not the character itself, but the dynamic between the two characters, Mr. Chan. I'm sorry, Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna go with Mrs. Chan because Mr. Chow's a fucking coward, man.
Yeah.
He could have had it. He could have had it and he blew it.
But she's indecisive.
Yeah.
So they both got their flaws. By the way, budget for this movie, $3 million USD.
Ooh.
Quite low for a movie
Mm.
as well. This movie's quite well shot.
Yeah.
Would think maybe it would have a higher budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's $3 million USD in 2000, so I don't know what that is now.
True.
It's worth about 5.5 million today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Decent.
It's decent. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Decent.
Alrighty. And with that, I guess it's time to tell you. It's my pick, right? It's my pick.
It's your pick.
Yeah, it's my pick. Alrighty. So, my movie. I was doing, before this podcast, we were, you were doing some stuff to the Meg, and I was having a look at the comments. And I saw this comment from Jesse Kemp Segdin. He said, He gave us 2 potential watches. He said Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse and Transformers 2007.
Yeah.
And the amount of times Transformers has come up on this podcast,
I don't
know why it hasn't been. It kind of has.
I think it came up in episode 0.
No, what?
Yeah, I think it was in episode 0. And I think Jesse just happened to get lucky and mention a movie that we spoke about. Oh,
man. I can't believe... I swear we've got to talk about it.
Maybe we have, but I'm pretty sure it's in episode 0. But I know where you're going with this.
We are watching Transformers 2007. Jesse Kemp, I'd just like to add, also put, potentially the peak of cinema.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse, for that suggestion.
Jesse's
That's
a real
what we're
one.
going to be watching. That's what we're going to be watching next week. So stay tuned for that.
Alrighty.
And let us know what you thought of this episode. It is going to probably be a bit of a longer one. Probably gonna be a bit of a longer one because there's a bit of pausing, but we talked a lot.
We did talk a lot.
I can't see this being under 2 hours.
We had to speculate a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of speculation.
I think you could get it under 2 hours.
Maybe. Possibly, probably, actually, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, bit of a longer one. Let us know what you thought. Leave us some suggestions in the comments for some movies that we should watch. Because I'll be looking.
We may or may not listen to you. You know what? If you're going to leave a recommendation for a movie, you should join our Discord. We've got a channel in the Discord that's dedicated to movie recommendations. So, yeah, chuck them in there and we'll consider them.
Yeah.
No promises.
No promises. We'll, pick what we want to watch.
Yeah.
So,
and something else I want to bring up about the Discord is that I sort of want it to be like a chill place to sort of hang out and maybe like have like a movie night every now and then, maybe once a week have a movie night, or we've got some moderators in the Discord as well, so maybe if they want to host their own movie night they can. And there's like 2 tiers there's 3 tiers. The first one, it's all free, by the way. The first one is just like watcher, like you're in there, you're a watcher. You have access to most of the channels. And then our sort of like VIP lounge sort of thing is called Gold Class. Just rip it straight from Village Cinemas.
Yeah.
So, if you're a bit of a special watcher, you could be, bumped up to a Gold Class member, and Gold Class members.
I know you want to watch movies with us.
Yeah, you want to watch movies with us.
While we pause the movie and take notes.
Yeah, you'll have like a bit of extra access to tune into the movies while we watch them for the actual show.
Yeah.
And then I think you get I think there's some extra sort of privileges in there for in the Discord, like you can do things that the watchers can't, but I can't remember what they are right now. And then the other one is just for like the guests, like all of the guests should be in the Discord, but they've got their own sort of sectioned off area for guests only. But yeah, if the guests want to talk to everyone else in like the general sort of chat, they can if they want to. But yeah, jump in there. We'll have a chat, talk some movies. There's a channel for like game stuff as well if you want to chat games, because we all play games.
Hell yeah.
That's just what we do. And you'll get like updated for uploads and random announcements and stuff like that. And we'll keep a track of like some of our previously reviewed movies as well. So if you're like, oh yeah, what did they rate that? You can just go in there and have a look. I'll slowly be doing it up over time. It's a little bit underdone at the moment, but it's a work in progress.
Don't be modest, mate. It looks great.
Oh, yeah.
It does. It does. It honestly does. I mean, I've been part of plenty of Discord servers, and they're way more bunk than this. And there's also a lot of bloat on Discord servers.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty concise. It's to the point, you know. It's got all the things you need in it. It's good.
Hell yeah.
Check it out. Check it out if that's your thing. If it's not, then bloody don't bother.
Yeah, stay out.
Yeah, stay
Get out of here.
Fuck off, idiot. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you like this episode, recommend it to someone who has a Discord.
That's a good one. That's like a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you like this episode, share it with someone named
Kevin.
Evan Chan.
Kevin Evan.
Kevin, no, that's too niche.
Oh, okay.
If you know someone named Chan or Chow or Ping, send them this.
Yep. Do it.
That's got to be a lot of people. Those are really
Do it,
common
you won't.
surnames. Alrighty, I think that's it.
Yeah,
think
get
that's
us out
it.
of here. Yeah.
Like and subscribe and comment and whatever the fuck, you know. Let us know what you thought. We want to hear what you thought of this movie if you've seen it. Maybe if you've anything we missed, drop it down below.
Let us know your theories and stuff, because it's not 100% solid in my brain, like what actually happened in the movie, and maybe it's supposed to be open to interpretation. So maybe you have like a better take on it that we haven't discussed. And yeah, stay tuned to the end of this episode for a cute little interview with Nicholas and his thoughts on the movie.
Hear ye.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Welcome back to a new segment. We're going to interview our past guest, Nicholas. Nicholas is the one who recommended this movie. And we're going to give him a couple questions. We're going to tell him what we thought. We're going to see what he thinks. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me back. I'm glad to hear you guys enjoyed the movie.
Oh, yes. Most definitely.
Yeah, curious to know what you guys thought.
I'm curious what makes you so curious. No, I'm just kidding. I'm curious to see I'm curious about how you've been. What you been up to, man? How you going?
Doing well. Just living my best life. Have watched a few movies since our last since our last romp.
That'll definitely leads into one of my questions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, no spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, no spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Shinjuku incident. Spoiler alert.
Oh, good movie.
It's been a little while since we hung out before, right? Like it's been around 2.5 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a little while.
Yep. And we watched the movie since then, and we enjoyed it quite a bit. And you may or may not have like re-watched it since then. I think you mentioned to me that you wanted to re-watch it, but maybe you didn't have enough time to. Did you get time to do that?
Nah, you bet I didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, but I did read a summary.
Cool.
Nice.
So a lot of the nuances I probably won't remember. But I would say probably most of the stuff that you guys picked up on, I might be able to recall. But as it stands, I've only seen the movie once.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a once.
Yeah, and
What a bloody once.
I didn't really plan on grilling you on on all like the plot and stuff either, and
Yeah.
any of the specifics, because I figured it was probably a while since you had watched it last time. But we'll start off with some pretty simple stuff. Like, what did you end up rating the movie?
It's a good question. So I suppose we should introduce the movie itself, right? Unless
This is tacked on the end of.
this will be on the end.
This is on the end of the actual episode.
Cool. So everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I watched In the Mood for Love. I want to say like within the last 2 years. So it's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but upon a refresher, and I do recall my initial rating, although it's not on my Letterboxd, I would have to give it. For me, it was in the 8s. I would say 8.2, 8.3 out of 10. If we're
Nice.
because we use the 10 scale over here. If you're a letterbox fiend like me, probably like a 4 out of 5.
Very nice. It seems like we all kind of came to the same consensus on that. I believe I gave it an 8 or an 8. I'm pretty sure I gave it an 8.
I think we both gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 8 worthy, I'd say.
For sure. And from what you remember, did you have a favorite character?
Well, it's a good question because from memory, there's not a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
There's the main two, which Mrs. Chen or Mr. Chan.
Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow. Yeah. So there's Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chen. And I think we don't even really see their spouses. Like we don't have a face to the spouses.
No,
And
never.
we see her boss, maybe.
Yep.
And the landlady,
I think.
Mr. Hobag, and then we've got the landlady.
Yeah.
And then we've got the wonton seller.
Damn straight.
Doing a
forget
really
old mate.
crucial storytelling for the movie itself. I think I have such a soft spot for Tony Leung. I think he is such an incredible actor, and both of them are so beautiful in this movie. But it's hard to say because it's not really a movie where you have any kind of affinity towards anyone, or it's not really like there's a clear character that you should be rooting for. 'Cause I found it to be a relatively painful movie to watch in the sense that it does, it's like got their own little fantasy world and all comes crumbling down, and
It's not even bittersweet. It's just bitter.
yeah,
It's just all bitter.
so it's a movie that I find that you can't really have a favorite, but if I just go like personal affinities, I guess it would be with Tony Leung. It would be Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow.
Yeah.
Mr. Chow. Very nice. Very nice. That's solid. I can respect that. Did we want to say our favorite characters?
I'd like to hear it. I mean, I'd like to hear what you thought. I mean, I guess I'll watch the podcast when it comes out.
I'm pretty sure I went with Mrs. Chan. I can't 100% remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Mrs. Chan.
And I think,
Yeah.
Alex, you went with Ping.
Yeah, I went with Ping.
Wait, who the fuck's Ping?
Ping's,
Ping's Mr. Chow's mate, the bald guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a degenerate.
Oh, Mr. Ping.
He's a bloody degenerate, but he's a good degenerate. He's a
Yeah.
loyal
Yeah,
degenerate.
he's a real one.
He's a real G, but just, makes bad decisions.
Definitely. He's a freaking... He's always up to no good, that guy.
There's some things in this movie that are kind of left open to interpretation, and this one might be a little bit, maybe not this one, but some of the other ones coming up might be a little bit harder to sort of answer. But would you think that what Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow were doing could be considered as cheating? Because just as like I think we spoke about this a little bit in the episode, but they definitely sort of exhibit a lot of cheating type behavior, and they do a lot of the things that cheaters do, and they feel like they need to keep things a secret. And since they're both still married, are they sort of emotionally cheating on their partners with each other?
I think emotionally they're very attached to each other. I think emotionally through each other, they explore these little pockets of fantasy world where, they try to seduce each other, or they attempt to seduce each other in these fantasy worlds. I think, and you'll have to correct me if I'm kind of remembering it wrong, but I recall kind of gradual scenes where they're trying to seduce each other as if they were their partners that are like obviously cheating on them. They're pretending to be them trying to seduce each other. And they find it incredibly difficult because they've lost the desire for their own respective partners. I think that's what happens, or what I interpreted it to happen.
I kind of interpreted it as a different way, not so much as they were sort of seducing each other. I think it started off as like role playing to sort of rationalize what was happening.
Yeah,
and how their partners got into the situation. I think that sort of evolved over time to sort of like role play the situation that like it transitions from what could have happened into what might happen in the future when they see their partners again. And I think at first they role play what it is that would probably happen, and then they sort of they run that sort of sequence back, and they do it in a way that's like sort of supporting each other in the sense like, okay, well, this is how I want it to play out, this is how I want to be when my partner is dismissive, and when I ask him about things, because at first it was just like, I think one of the questions is like, why did you come today? And he like puts on the moves like, he sweet talks her, and then they do this same thing, and she says, why didn't you come today? And it's a little bit more confrontational, and it might be sort of like practice for eventually sort of confronting your partner about
their own partners.
Yeah.
I kind of interpreted it the same way, but I understand that it's role play. But it almost feels a little real, like it feels a little genuine at sometimes, because I feel like she did at that point want to hear from him, even though maybe he didn't even ever call her. I don't know. We don't know. So it can be interpreted in so many different ways.
Yeah. And I think they definitely blur the line quite a bit, where they like intentionally don't call out when it is actually going to be a role play.
Yeah.
And the scene is just happening, and then you're confused at first, and then they do it again, and you're like, okay, this is a role play thing. And it leaves you to interpret the rest of the movie as, did they actually care about each other, or were they just role playing like into these things to help each other get out of their situations?
I think, I definitely agree. The way that it's directed and the way that they handle time within the movie is very vague, and you don't really know how much time has passed, which is really interesting. And yeah, I think it's up to us to decide, I guess, how emotionally invested they were with each other. I think for me, I interpret it as in they were, definitely kind of falling for each other, and just struggling to really know what to do. I guess to do what to do with their respective partners, and I guess on paper maybe that's emotionally cheating, but yeah, contextually they blur the line very well.
Yeah, at the same time, they're already emotionally checked out. At least it seems that Tony Leung's character is Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow.
He's ready to pack up shop. He's done.
Yeah.
And it's Mrs. Chan's hesitancy to leave her husband that I think kind of seals that.
Yeah.
I lost where I was going with this.
Well, I think it's what makes Mr. Chow hesitate and sort of like go off on his own, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what it says.
But I guess it's interesting that their role playing is the biggest expression of their feelings, right? Otherwise, none of them really explicitly communicate how they feel about each other.
Yeah. The only time they're genuine with each other is when they're doing their like newspaper stuff.
Yeah, because they don't necessarily even talk to each other that much.
He does support her when, she breaks down a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I think when he said that he didn't expect to fall in love with her, it could be interpreted that he was pretending to be her husband maybe, but I think he was being genuine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that was Mr. Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this movie is just really good at
fucking with people's heads.
Yeah, just like blurring lines and just emotionally not knowing what to do or what to think and being confused at the same time that they're confused, which I think is one of the reasons why I liked it so much.
It puts you in their state of mind.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's the way the whole thing is filmed. Like, there's only a handful of scenes where there's no obstruction in the foreground. Like, you almost always see the characters through a frame of some sort, whether it's like through a window or there's like a door obstructing. And there's such a subtext of gossip from that landlady and stuff like that it makes us as the audience feel like we're just someone else watching in on their lives, which is really interesting.
That's really interesting. You think they fucked?
Hell yeah, it did.
Sorry,
there's no ways he didn't leave them balls hanging out.
Mr. Chow, he goes to Singapore. And I think Mrs. Chen goes too. They go at separate times. It was a little bit confusing, but I think she was there because she leaves a lipstick-stained cigarette in his room, and she steals his case of cigarettes. It was like a memento because he's frantically searching for him.
Yeah, Alex saw the look in his eye.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know that man.
I know
That's me when
anywhere.
I can't find my vape.
Yeah.
That sucks, bro.
It's revealed later. It's revealed later that she, Mrs. Chen, has a kid, right? So, do you think they fucked? And do you think maybe that baby is Mr. Chow's?
Interesting. It's not something that I suspected. I think it was because her life with her partner was such behind closed doors that we just had no idea what their family state was, or whether they had kids or something like that.
Yeah.
I almost want to think that they didn't
because
have sex.
She does wait in his room, it looks like. But maybe they didn't, and she left because it seems like he never saw
Yeah.
her, and he only saw traces of her.
Yeah, I think I feel like you don't see, like, in the red room before he goes to Singapore, you don't see them in there together on that night, but you see them, like, in the room either solo, or you see them, like, leaving that room or arriving at that room, like, and they sort of, like, put those scenes in the movie sort of, like, splashed in randomly, like when Mrs. Chan's in the shower, it cuts to someone, like, knocking on the door, and I assumed that was Mrs. Chan knocking on the door at the red curtain room that night. And I think they were maybe in the room together, and then I think he left, like, just piecing it together by some of the scenes that are, like, spread out throughout the movie. I think, yeah, they were probably in the room together. They probably had the conversation, like, you know, if I'm gonna leave, would you come with me or whatever? And then he leaves at some point, and she's in the room by herself at some point. And I have, like, a pretty good suspicion that they probably met up and boned, and then maybe like had some regrets or something, and then chickened out. Or I think I'm kind of putting on Mr. Chow that he chickened out.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I almost want
Mr.
them...
Chow hit that shit raw. So,
Yeah, dude. Mr. Chow doesn't rap.
for how careful they were, I'm surprised he didn't bag it up.
That's not how Mr. Chow rolls. I don't know. Like, I was always under the impression that they just didn't cross that line. And that their story just ended with them just missing each other.
Even though Mrs. Chan has a kid 4 years later that's roughly 4 years old, and she's not in a relationship with Mr. Chan anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a really good question.
I'm kind of on the fence. Like, it's too confusing for me.
Yeah.
To say 100% either way, but I'm almost siding with Nicholas, because that was my initial impression until you brought it up towards the end of the episode, Brendan. Well, that's when it happens on the timeline anyway. It's towards the end of the movie, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
But maybe because I wasn't under that impression, I just didn't take notice of the signs. I don't know.
Yeah. I think on my first and only watch, maybe I didn't even want them to cross the line. I just wanted them to want each other so badly. Everything kind of crumbles apart and they just never see each other again. There was something so, bittersweet and melancholy about that ending.
How sad was the ending? How sad was that fucking ending?
It's
just
pretty...
shoving his secrets in a hole and filling it with mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... The whole movie is kind of... It's like, just got you feeling like you're in a lull.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, or just like hypnotized or something.
Okay, so we're kind of split. With, like, and you guys are in favor of that it's not Chow's kid.
I'm not sure. I can't say. I'm like, catch me on a different day, I might have a different answer.
Yeah, I'd be curious now that I have that perspective. I'd be curious to know what I'd think if I would watch it again. See if I suspect anything.
I think the only reason, like, the sort of nail in the coffin for me is that when he goes to the apartments again, and the landlord is, like, talking about the neighbor next door, like, just a mother and her kid, he keeps pointing out that the kid's really cute. It's like, yeah, it's a really cute kid. And he says it, like, multiple times. Like, you know, the movie really wants you to sort of draw attention to the child's like appearance, or maybe like sort of mannerisms and stuff.
That's true.
Dang, I don't know now.
Yeah, now I'm leaning towards kid, especially with the age and the dates kind of lining up as well. It just seems like shit. It does look that way. I just don't know what to think. This movie fucked with me.
Yeah. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's just one of those interpretation movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no specific answer. It's just
Whatever you want it to be, really.
Yep.
So you know Ping though.
maybe it's Ping's
You know-
kid.
You know, maybe Ping
swooped
finally
in.
got something he was trying to get with her.
Pooped
Ping
in
was
at
a kiddie.
vulnerable moment.
It could be his kid. Do you think the curtains match the drapes?
No way.
What do you think he's up to now? Do you think he's just chilling in Singapore?
Same old.
Same old Ping.
Same
Do you
old
think
Ping.
he's same old Ping in and out of hospital, getting in trouble with bookies?
Yeah. It's a hard life to break out of.
I hope Ping found himself and settled down.
Maybe Ping.
Actually, it
Ping
kind of
found-
seemed like Ping
found
knew
God.
himself.
Yeah.
Ping found he went to that little temple at the end. He had his own secrets to bury.
Reformed himself. Became a better man.
Yeah.
He's reformed Ping.
Reformed Ping V2.
So, you mentioned you'd seen a couple more movies. What are you sitting at now, number wise and quota wise, and what movies did you watch?
Let me have a look here on my letterboxd. I can look at my diary. Since we watched Fargo, I've watched 3 movies since we watched Fargo.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Number 1, I watched The Beekeeper, Jason Statham.
Yep.
Nice.
And this movie, I don't know how much Jason Statham you've ever watched, but his kind of
Brendan's a big Stath head.
Yeah, I'm a big Stath head.
he's found himself in this nook where he just plays people with jobs, but it's just ex-military or
Yeah.
something, and he has to go on some revenge mission. Have either of you seen this movie, The Beekeeper?
Not yet.
haven't.
Not yet. It's on my
Yeah.
list.
It's so funny. Like, I won't spoil the plot or anything like that, but the best part of this movie is that he just keeps making bee puns. Right, the whole thing is just making bee puns. He's like, I've got to smoke out the hornets. And then
Bet you
something
that
will
stung.
explode. Yeah, it's nuts. It's like, the queen's weak. I've got to replace the queen. Like, all this crazy shit.
You know how you get rid of a hornet's nest?
Yeah.
Gasoline.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that carried the movie. So
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
that one got like a solid 7 out of me, which is pretty good for a Stath outing.
Nice.
That was good. And then the movie after that, I watched a movie called Wild Target,
Yep.
which is an English film from about 2010 that has a really cute Emily Blunt in it and a dashing Bill Nighy who plays a middle-aged assassin.
Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No
Bill
way,
Nye
dude.
the Ministry of Magic. Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the father in About Time.
Yeah, another devastating movie, but yeah, he basically is, it's a classic, she's the target, he falls in love. The side character is played by Rupert Grint.
Nice.
In the only other movie I've seen him in outside of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And the Lego House movie video.
Right.
Music
Yeah,
video.
true. He's in a. He did a remake of Snatch as well, like a series for the movie Snatch.
Look, the movie was okay. I gave it a 7.
Nice.
It made me laugh a few times, mainly because the main antagonist is played by Martin Freeman, who's like a rival assassin, but he's got really fake veneers in. And every now and then he'll just smile with his fake teeth. And that also carried the film in the same way that the B puns carried the other movie.
Nice.
Highlight of the three, though, was the third one I watched, which was just yesterday. Once again, in tribute to Val Kilmer, I watched Tombstone.
Yep.
Have either of you seen that?
No.
No, I haven't seen any of these movies.
Tombstone it's from like the early 90s. It's got Val Kilmer as one of the main side characters, Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, who we love in everything he's ever done, Bill Paxton, who we love.
Rest in peace.
But essentially it's about Wyatt
Rest in
Earp,
peace.
and Doc Holliday and the gunfight at the OK Corral, which is like a super famous historical event that's real. Like these are real people and this is all part of history. It's like one of those westward expansion American films, cowboys and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
And Wyatt Earp's like a legendary marshal, and he's got like three brothers, and they moved to a new town called Tombstone to run like a business and stuff, and live like an honest life. But the Tombstone is overrun by a gang called the Cowboys, and like they're all kind of thrust into picking up their kind of peacekeeping backgrounds without really wanting to, and that kind of turns into the historical gunfight at the OK Corral. It has beautiful music. I don't know who did the music. I think maybe it was James Horner.
Okay.
Very, very triumphant. Very triumphant kind of, idealistic westward expansion vibes. But it was genuinely a good movie. I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. I found it
Nice.
very captivating.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, watch it for Val Kilmer.
Put it in the
portrayal of Doc Holliday.
We have a movie recommendation channel in this Discord if you want to just post it in there.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in.
All three of those movies, yeah. If you chuck them in there, I'll give them a watch.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do without Wild Target, but definitely Beekeeper and Tombstone, I would say.
I'm so keen for Beekeeper.
Yeah, Beekeeper. Watch that on a day where you're just ready for some silly, goofy fun.
Yeah.
When you said The Beekeeper, I thought it was that movie with Nicolas Cage, and he's like, the bees.
Oh, the Wicker Man.
Not the bees.
The Wicker Man. I haven't seen that, but
Neither.
that's what I
I
thought
haven't
of.
seen it either. But no. No. That's not the one.
But no, you fucking idiot.
Fucking stupid
I'll fucking
shit.
do you.
I'll fucking do you if you bring up that fucking guy again.
It's just, we always say that in episodes now.
I'll fucking do you.
That's perfect. Gotta smoke you out of the hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good amount of movies. 3 movies.
Yeah, it's put me up
Hell
to
yeah.
about 16 out of
Yeah,
75
nice.
for the year.
Nice.
Yeah,
You're gonna have some catching up to do.
I'm just realizing now, because I was like, 3 movies. Yeah, that's a lot since we last spoke. And then I looked at my spreadsheet and I was like, oh, I've watched 5 new movies since then. What the fuck?
Nice. Yeah.
And I've watched 3 movies that I've already seen before as well. So I've watched 8 movies since
8
then.
movies.
Yeah.
I need to start
That's a
writing
bloody
shit
good
down
effort.
because I feel like I've watched it's got to be just under 10 new movies.
Dang, since the since the 4th?
Yeah, because I watch
weeks.
a lot of movies with my girlfriend. Like we always watch stuff. She's always showing me stuff. I watched All the Night at the museums.
Back to back to back.
back to back. We watched all of them. I liked the first one a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 7.5.
First one's a
All
banger,
the Night at
dude.
the Museum movies, why?
They're
Because,
fucking
why not?
hilarious, man.
The
I
first
really
one,
liked-
yeah, I get it.
I really like
The
the
one
first
with
one. The
Carmen
second
Ra.
one was pretty good.
He's so
Carmen Ra?
funny.
Is that the
Ra?
third one?
It's the guy
That's the
that played
third
by
one?
Hank Azaria. And is like,
Azaria?
yeah, so Hank Azaria.
Azalea?
Hank Azaria.
Do that.
My interest kind of faded by the third one. I think it's probably because I
Yeah.
watched them back to back to back.
Too quickly.
You gotta spread them out.
One where it's like trying to get the tablet and it's like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah,
All three. Cross this line.
that's true. He was probably the best part of that movie.
Already
He was pretty funny.
I
And
think
then
I've seen
you've
the
got-
first two.
You've got Jonah Hill.
Yeah, he was really good actually. Brandon, I like that scene a lot. It's Brandon, dude.
Dude.
That was fucking sick what you
Been
just did
there.
with the flashlight.
Been there, guys.
Brandon,
It's not Brandon. It's Brendan. No, it's not Brenton.
Brandon.
Brennan? No, not Brennan. No. No, not Brandon.
That first one's probably the best though. I agree.
Yeah, I really liked the first one. It had a lot of charm.
Bro, he's-
Let's
What
All
are we
right,
talking
Someone,
about?
someone
Enough.
stop him.
enough speak of Sprog.
Yes.
Let's end
Yeah.
because
Let's end it.
this is going to be an incredibly long episode.
Yeah. Good luck, Alex.
Thank you so much, Nicholas, for coming on.
No worries.
Again.
Thanks for having me back.
No worries.
Yeah.
Anytime, man.
Nice
It's
little
always a
follow-up.
pleasure.
Yeah.
I know you get a
Absolutely.
little two-piece and syphilis action.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, have me back
my
anytime,
man.
boys.
Yeah. Maybe we can
Sick
cut some of that
Nicholas.
movie tangent stuff out at the end.
Yeah.
I dare say we
Maybe-
might have to.
Dude, I might just fucking cut that whole movie tangent out except for Nick's and then just like save it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have it as a little side
Remember
piece.
when we talked about these movies?
Talked about Spider-Man, how much we loved it.
Yeah.
Dude, we could just have a whole podcast of us going, dude, I saw this movie, right?
Yeah, I watched this movie. What did you watch?
I watched this movie. It was good.
It's good.
Oh,
as-
well, I watched this movie, but it was bad.
Not the big though. Couldn't
Riveting.
be
No.
cheaper.
All right. Thank
Riveting.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Get
Bye-bye.
the fuck out of here.
Fuck off.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
I think I posted Rule 34 in here
Yes, you did.
ages ago for the alien.
Yeah, I deleted it.
Okay, good.
Send me
I've
a
already-
link, though.